My goodness, hello! Hello, Wormy friend. Hello, Erland. Hello, Bobby and Keeper. Hello, Saradin. Hello, everyone else. How are you all doing? Oh my goodness. Good morning. Good morning to you and you and you and you and you. It's British summertime now. That means everything's moved an hour. That means time moved an hour forward. Oh, so I'm sorry, Wormy friend. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Sorry. It's not actually a painting stream today. It's a what type of stream is it? It's a. We're reading magazines today. We can look at the model I painted yesterday. I'm hoping to finish it after the stream today, or at least get some more finished today. Yeah, we might build some stuff today, and I can tell you the scheme that I'm thinking about. Yeah, I'm hoping we get some Eldar lore in these magazines. Yeah, the only correct option. I had a no. We're painting Corsairs. Actually, give me a moment. Where did I put the thing? Ugh. Yeah, I'm painting a pirate faction. I'm not painting. I'm making a pirate faction of Eldar. Oh, let me get the Farseer. Is it a Farseer? Oh, is it a Warlock that we made? I can't remember. I know it's meant to be a Farseer model. I can't remember if we just built it as a Warlock instead. Yeah, this is our Farseer because we used a Corsair head for him and we gave him a little sword. Because I wanted to look a little unique. But yeah, we're making Corsairs.
The Emperor cake is dead. The sprinkles rule. Let the bakery burn.
No! I love showing up to 40-second unskippable ads. Thank you, YouTube. Unfortunately, I do have automatic ads. I could put... I could choose when ads go in. So I could I don't know actually. I think in YouTube I could force ads in. Do you know, like when we do our breaks, our exercise breaks in, but instead I just put it on auto ads because, you know, I'm lazy like that. Give me a moment. It's being a bit too shiny right now. Oh no, that's off. Good. Yeah, I'm doing a pirate faction. What I'm thinking is I'm going to do orange. Actually, I've got two ideas. Either paint them green, like striking scorpions. And then what I'm thinking is doing a wash with this Carenberg crimson on them. So if we got green, and then between all the armor plating, it's going to have this like red. Do you like a bit red, or it's got like a sort of red glow to them? So it'd be green, maybe a little bit of a yellowy outline, and then between all the plates it's going to have the red. Or do the same thing but orange with the red in between. One of the two, I'm not sure. Hi Mal. It's just a 40-second of unskippable. 40-second unskippable is ridiculous. I hated them for brought about 2-minute unskippable adverts. Oh my goodness. You haven't excited to hear a comment of a magazine in that case. Yeah! Oh. Don't stop me from misinterpreting your words. I can and I will. Oh, there we go. Bombardment. Wait, haha. Aha, you can't get me with a bombardment. You misspelt it. Yeah, I'm thinking about different ways that we can paint them. I like the idea of green or orange, or maybe we'll do a mixture of the two. So, don't know. Yeah, we're going Pirate Eldar. What I'm thinking of doing is, we're getting... Ow! So today we've got Eldar Guardians. I'm thinking of converting them with these dudes here. Because I should have enough spare bits from this kit to convert the Guardians into pirates as well. Because there's two types of pirates. You've got the Void Scar pirates, and then you've got the normal Corsairs. I want to convert the Guardian pirates into the Guardians into just the normal Corsairs. And then all I need is, once you got all the Eldar from the Combat Patrol magazines, combine them with this box, and then just, oh, what's it called? The Autarch model, which is still sold out everywhere. That'll be 1,000 points almost exactly off Eldar. Key. And then I have 1,000 points of Eldar. Because it also, the one thing is, I don't know how to make this dude, this Wraith Lord, a pirate. I'm sorry for flashbanging you with a Wraith Lord. There you go. I don't know, like, I'm thinking, what do we do? Do we just give him a hat? Do we give him a pirate hat? Like, do we just green stuff a pirate hat onto him and like an eye patch? How does this work? Are there Wraith Lord Corsairs? I imagine there must be Wraith Lord Corsairs. How does that work? I think this kit should also be coming with, actually, it does come with these little Guardian jet bikes. You won't be able to make them a Corsair. You'll be able to make this a Corsair. Stick some of the banners, some for foils. Oh, we could stick some banners on him. Oh, that could be so cool. Oh, we could also stick trophies on him, like stick some Tyrannid trophies on. Oh, wait a minute. I've got a bunch of, I keep knocking stuff over. I'm sorry, models. Where is he? I've got a bunch of these dudes. I'd keep wondering what I'm going to do with them, because they come from the Hive Storm Kill Team kit that we got. It's like, maybe I could use some of these as little trophy things. Like, we could just like litter him with trophies. That could be cool. Oh, yeah. Oh. But yeah, this kit, we got an entire Wraith Lord in here. It's cool. Do you have a skull big enough to go over a shoulder? I should have a Tyrannid skull, because we got plenty of spare Tyrannid parts. Do you know from... I've got the spare non-emissary parts. The spare Hive Tyrant parts. I've got 2 sets of those parts. And other spare parts. Yeah, I guess trophies would make the Wraith Lord look good. The other thing that I think it comes in, if we go, I want to go in order again. This is magazine 24. This is 26. 23, 25. Okay. Here we go. There's one thing actually. So, let me go through stuff while we're here. I got another one of these files that they sent me so that we can put our magazines in them, which I really needed because the last one became very, very full. But I don't really know where I'm going to put it. It's a very cool file. It's a very cool folder. Look at this. Look at it's got an Eldar in. It's got a little Gene Stealer, Primaris Marine, some Word Bearer, some Orc, some Old Dude. Is that a Photon? Maybe it's a Photon. I don't know. Gene Stealer Coat Dude. Oh look, he's holding a head. Casvican? Tempestus? And Chaos Marine. Wait, that's another... Is that another Word Bearer? He has a corn symbol. Is that 2 word bearers? I've only got the same guys, but in colour on the other side. Oh. It's very cool. That's not a word bearer? Oh god, I've forgotten the name. Oh wait, word bearer! World eater, sorry. I said word bearer, I meant world eater. World eater. I keep getting those ones confused because they both begin with W. World eater. World eater. Yeah. He's got to look like he's taken on many an enemy, so you got to get suit. Oh, I can also do like, I can take the knife to the Wraith Lord and like scratch him up a lot to make him look like he's poorly taken care of because they're pirates, so they don't have all the facilities to properly take care of their honoured dead. Ooh, that would be good. Okay, and the other thing we've got is this. We know you're blonde. How do you know I'm blonde? How do you know I've got green hair? What just happened? A specific renegade chapter. I now need to go find the name, talk amongst yourselves. That makes it sound like you're the host of a stream now. Did you see my hair? Did my hair go onto the screen when I was doing that? Was it like zoom? Because I got long hair. Was it like zoom? Oh. Wild guess. No! No, I'm not blonde. I got green hair. I am been thinking about getting like not extensions. Is that extensions a favourite word? Do you know those things you clip into your hair? But do you know just pink and blue colours? Just for fun. But then I'm like, yeah, but then I just can't be bothered taking them out of my hair every single day. I've been having to clip them back in every single day. I'm lazy. Oh, a single page of this rubbish. It's got a single thing. Primaris Company Champion. I have no idea what I'm going to use this for. It's a sprue. This is just a special kit that they send you after so many copies if you subscribe to them. To a magazine. So I don't know what I'm going to use it as. I was thinking at first Empress Champion, but I already built myself an Empress Champion conversion. Could be hacked into bits and fully assembled and used as a corpse dressing if you're interested in playing Marines. Oh no, I do have Marines. I'm building 30,000 points of Black Templar Space Marines. But I'm not sure what to use it as yet. Oh gosh, I'm getting stuff. Oh. Because here's the Empress Champion I already kit bashed together and built myself. Yeah, here's my Empress Champion. This idea. I mean, I could still use it as a, what's it called? Because I've got quite, because I like to buy the boxes of Marines that they produce. Not boxes of Marines. I like to buy the other big boxes of stuff. They sell, oh, like the Vanguard Task Force and stuff, where they sell you a bunch of, like infiltrators and suppressors and eliminators and stuff like that. But then they come with like a character. And do like for combat patrol boxes, but then it comes with a character. Or like the Spearhead Task Force, but then it comes with a character. So I've just got lots of characters that I don't necessarily need a lot of the time. Or I find difficulty trying to convert them into something. Like, I've already got a librarian that... Let me find my Tyrannid. Let me find that Tyrannid Hive Tyrant. Like, this was a spare librarian we had, a librarian Terminator, or Terminator librarian. But because I play Black Templars, I didn't need a Terminator librarian. And I didn't have a use to convert it into anything because, well, I've not had a use. I already converted one Terminator librarian into a chaplain, into a Terminator chaplain. I already had a Terminator captain. And I already had a Terminator ancient, both of which were kit bashes. So yeah, I used him instead in this conversion deal for chest plates being ripped off and used in this thing here. He's down there being stepped on, he's screaming. That's actually Tigerius' head. There, that's screaming out under the foot. Tigerius being the ultramarine character, master librarian. Because we ended up with his model, which I converted into a chaplain. And then he's reaching up, still grabbing despite having been ripped open like this. It's like, Urgh. Oh, there's this like part of his leg armor in the Tyrannid's mouth. And no need to apologize. Sounds like heresy, which is approved. No, heresy is never approved. Oh, this is only a 2022 model. Ooh. Yeah, so I don't know what I'll use it as now, or kit bash it into. Partly, but for part of the reason is because I've got quite a few of the character models that are still in boxes that I'm not yet certain what I'm going to build them into yet. I might give it a jump pack and convert it into... No, I've got jump pack models already. Judicar? No, I've got for Judicars. Tech Marine? Ooh! It could be an interesting Tech Marine. Or a cool Apothecary. Oh, it could make a cool Apothecary conversion. Because I do think I need 2 more Apothecaries in my full army list. And I do think I need at least 2, I think 3 Tech Marines in my army list in full. So give them like a Tech Marine backpack is all I'd really need to do. And like maybe a Tech Marine helmet. And that's a really cool helmet to give to somebody else. And that's a really cool sword just to give to anybody. But he can just keep the sword. Swap out his backpack, give it to someone else. Give him the Tech Marine backpack or an Apothecary backpack. Swap out his head for a different head. Yeah, that could be a cool conversion. Yeah. I like that idea. I'll put him to one side for now. We're not going to build him now because I don't really know. I don't really know what to do with it. But we got Eldar today. That's what we're focusing on. Look over here. We got Guardians. We got Guardians of the Galaxy. I mean, Guardians of the Eldar. The Aeldari. There's no basis. This is one of the magazines where it comes in 2 parts. Part 1 of 2. We got most of the sprues for them, but we don't have a basis. We got lots of cool little helmets. We got the I think this is all of her bodies. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, all of her bodies. Most of her special weapons. Looks a bit like a melter gun over here. Where am I from? I mean, they can still guard the galaxy. I mean, they just... It's just that they would really prefer it to be a purely Eldar galaxy. Or for everyone else to stop trying to kill for Eldar. I would just prefer to not have to defend those that aren't Eldar in the galaxy. In fact, I can't remember the name it's got to eat at me. I might have to troll through some lore for them. I think I narrowed it down to Brazen Beast of Crimson Slaughter, or it could be completely off there. Okay. I'll trust you with that one. Anyway, that guy is an 8th edition Chaos Space Marine Codex art, and he's cool. Oh, I knew that one! I just like the fact that both of the Chaos Space Marines on there were both Khorne-based Chaos Space Marines, which was funny to me. Because there was a point when almost everything that they released that was Chaos Space Marine related was Khorne related. But that's partly because Khorne was a bit underpowered when they released his stuff, while Tzeentch was incredibly overpowered. So let's look. How to build a Guardian Defender. Oh. Oh. Look at it. It's got heads and stuff. And look, it's got a little defensive platform. I don't think you have to just build them like... Oh, the weapons of the Aso Yani. Let's click this button so hopefully it'll... There we go. Aeldari weapons. Warriors. Oh, is that too bright? Yeah, it's too bright. Okay. Aeldari warriors. Oh, maybe if I turn on this little light. Nah, it's too... Oh wait, Tyrannid! Eldar versus Tyrannid. And it's an iodine there. Books. It's little books. With little holes in them. So we can put them in our little file that we got. Look, it's a Tyrannid. Is that Tyrannid? Oh no, it's just his teeth. I thought that was like mouth fused shut then. Holes. Talan, just because it's got holes in doesn't mean it's Swiss cheese. You can't eat it. Not before we read it. Oh wait, it's got a bionic eye like the Imperial Seth. By the way, Aeldari warriors are highly trained, and many of them spend years of their lives perfecting highly focused specialisms. For such warriors, only the best weapons will suffice. And the armories of the craft worlds are laden with innumerable, exquisitely made weapons, each one carefully designed to exacting specifications. Wielding the Spear of Twilight, Prince Uriel battles a Tyrannid incursion. Is that like in a craft world, or is that just on a planet's surface? Look, he's all yellow. And he's all yellow. To be fair, Khorne is really marketable as well. It'd be a bit harder to sell if it was Emperor's Children. Probably not Death Guard or Thousand Suns though. To be fair, in a game where it says in the 41st millennium, where the tagline is there's only war, the God of War is probably really easy to sell. To the Aeldari, both the crafting and use of weaponry is considered a high art. Why we gotta be high? I've been watching too much Breaking Bad. Oh my gosh, I have. I need to stop watching it. Oh, it's depressing me. Although that might be the meds I've been taking too. I've had to go on my double dose today. I've been on my double dose. Today's the first day where I had to double it. And now I have to take it in morning and evening. Before it was just evening, so most of the negative effects I just had to suffer at night when I'm asleep. Oh, so hopefully it'll be fine. But anyway, the technology has an ancient lineage. I mean, have you seen Aeldari weaponry? It's definitely a high art. Have you seen the Dark Eldar weapon? That's definitely a high art. But technology has an ancient lineage and is far in advance of that possessed by many other species. In comparison, even the best weapons produced by humanity's mechanicus looks like childish experiments. In battle, highly trained Aeldari warriors use these arms with incredible precision, executing tactical advances under a suppressing hail of withering shuriken fire. As the light support troops pile into the fray on jet bikes or on foot, close combat specialists engage in hand-to-hand combat, severing limbs and heads from enemy fighters with deadly swords, spears, and wraith blades. One of the interesting things I find is that the Aeldar like to act all high and mighty about, their weapons and their technology. And especially since humanity doesn't remember their, the dark age of technology and regard it with superstition. But that's a big but. The times when we actually do see the dark age of technology stuff of humanity, like especially for more advanced stuff, and for Eldar come across it, you were never 2 pages away from Iron art, case in point. Never more than. It's true, it's true. Actually, let's check. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay, no, we are more than 2 pages away. We just keep going. You lied. You lied. Aeldari weapons are overpowered as hell in Warhammer Eternal Crusade. Nothing like getting snipped away from half a map. Oh yeah, but that's a fun thing. Is one of the things is that when they come across some of this dark age of technology stuff, is that the Eldar are not only scared of it in certain points, but end up having to recognize that actually it is in advance of their own technology at certain points. Especially it's like some of the ships and for AI ships, like some of the ones where it's like the ship is basically a living organism within its own right, with time traveling powers. Or you've got the weapons where it's like the Primarchs found, Lionel Johnson found weapons that when they hit you, it removes you from ever having existed. And that's one of the reasons apparently humanity doesn't remember the dark age of technology, and especially the war that came after the dark age of technology and almost wiped out humanity. That the main weapon that most of the foot soldiers were using literally erased people from existence. Like just ever being remembered. Like you shot someone with that weapon and they just didn't exist. Ever. No one remembered them. No one remembered them. So that meant when a massive war happened and everyone just shoot, hello Tor, how are you doing? When everyone's shooting one another with these weapons that just erase people from existence and from people's memories, it just meant that entire generations were just being wiped out and being removed from memories. All these robots that were involved in this war were being removed from memories. So all that anyone ever had was just like evidence that there was once a war, was once advanced technology. Once, and most of the people that survived the war were people on like, that were detached from the war. And then you had the entire warp storms that ended up separating all the planets from one another. So it's incredibly crazy what happened. It's the Eldar doing that shifty eye puppet men whenever dark age of technology human tech is involved. They're just so used to us being so unga bunga that when the ship starts talking they do a double take. Oh yeah. And also the other thing is like the Eldar, not understanding their own technology. It's like, yes, we Eldar are so sophisticated. It's like, remember where your technology originates from? It's like, do you remember how your technology was invented? Which Eldar invented it? and tell me why the Eldar look like a frog? But also complete collapse of humanity's empire thanks to the Eldar because the Slaanesh was being made. Yeah, and then all the humans turning into psychers, and those psychers not having any idea how to control their powers, so they all just like start exploding and releasing warp storms everywhere. And then you had all these ships full of psychers, so the ships just suddenly explode. And then you have all the demons suddenly going into the realm through these psychers and stuff. It's a miracle that humanity even survived, let alone continued to prosper as well as it did. Have we actually Yeet cannon today? And in the Dark Age they had delete cannon. We actually still have the weapon in for board games still. Because if there's a model that we can still use, because we introduced it to the game called the Imperial Space Marine, and it counts as a Legends model, but it's called the Imperial Space Marine, and it's armed with a disintegration gun. And this is actually a remnant from before Space Marines became what they are today. Because before Space Marines had bolt guns, they were given like this isn't lore, this is actually just when they were designing Space Marines, like Games Workshop was. They didn't give them bolt guns, they gave them disintegration guns. Hello, So Honey Rose, how you doing? I mean, John Wraithbone had to do a lot of experimenting to get that formula right, I assure you. But him looking like a frog was a side effect. Survived, are you sure about that? Are we really going to call the Imperium of Man surviving? Even before the Imperium of Man, humanity survived. Like, don't forget, before the Emperor showed up, humanity was still... Trillions upon trillions of humans were still alive with multiple different empires around. Some of them really highly technologically advanced and stuff. And really well organized. It's like, even without the Empire, humanity would have still been around today, probably. And probably still been prospering. I mean, the fact that you still got the photon around shows that. Oh, goodness. I can't stay. There's a lady coming over here to interview me about your life. There's a lady coming over. Oh my goodness. Good luck, so Honey Rose. Oh. But oh yeah, they ended up with the disintegration gun. So when they re-released the classic Space Marine, like in the anniversary model, which you can still use in the board game today, in their Legends kits, they have a disintegration gun, and they kind of reintroduced it back into lore as this disintegration gun that erases people from reality, from ever existing. Well, I don't think it removes them from ever existing. It just like completely removes people from like memories and stuff. Every time I get interviewed, I'll buy the Rosses. Buy the Rosses! Buy the police! Hands up to the police! Your concept of surviving is of an entire planet, and then one day the world floods with lava and the only safe spaces left are mountaintops. That was humanity during the collapse. You say that, but compare humanity to the Eldar, or to the Necrons, or to... or even to the Orcs during 30k. Like, just compare them. It's like, humanity at that point was in trillions, there were trillions of humans. Before the Emperor came about, there were trillions of humans across the galaxy. They were the most numerous race in the galaxy. They had multiple thriving empires. They had advanced technologies. they were expanding, their population was increasing. The Eldar, on the other hand, while still relatively numerous, their population was in decline. They were dying race. The Orc population at that point was also in decline. I think that's the thing, is like humanity survived and continued to not be in decline. Humanity since the Emperor's death has been in decline. It's been in a technological regression since the Emperor basically took over. And it's been in a... I'm not sure population regression's been correct. Since the Tyranids attacked and since the Eye of Terror opened up, its population has definitely been on the decline. Almost definitely anyway. Between Eye of Terror and Tyranids, you can almost certainly say they've been in a population decline. IRL collapse was estimated that there was around 2,000 individuals that survived the Big Crunch. That was all our ancestors now. Yeah! There was at least one mass extinction event that humanity survived, and it almost wiped out humanity. For possibly, I think up to, not up to 3, for possibly 3 and maybe more other extinction events that possibly occurred to humanity before we got into farming. After we gained farming, we don't believe were any significant events that almost caused the extinction of humanity. We believed there was at least one event, I think, in North America that almost wiped out humanity in America. And I think that's it. Like humanity. And I think there might have been an event that almost removed humanity from Australia. Like, I think the population of Australia went in quite a heavy decline before, you know, Europeans arrived there. Like, Horus and his legion was apparently so good at killing orcs that they didn't find it to be fun anymore. Let that sink in. But orcs had no fun while fighting for lunar wolves. That is true. Actually, they orcs have that habit with the humans sometimes. Actually, that's the thing, for orcs also don't find the Eldar very fun. The orcs don't like fighting for Eldar very much, because often the Eldar win. But even when the Eldar don't win, they don't enjoy fighting for Eldar. They enjoy fighting for humans most. And out of the humans, I think they enjoy fighting normal humans more than Space Marines. But it depends on the Space Marine chapters. I think they enjoy fighting things like the Space Wolves the most. And maybe things like the Black Templar. Certain chapters like the Salamanders and the Ultramarines and the Raptors they don't really like, because they don't use very nice tactics against them that are very fun to fight against. Hello, Scorpio! No, I think Greenskins do like gunlines to some extent. They don't like fighting Eldar, because the Eldar don't fight fair. The Eldar they keep moving. They're very tricksy. They don't stay still. They shoot them and then run away. So then you can't hit them with your axe and you can't shoot them, and it's not very fun to fight them. Some Space Marines are like that. They don't like the Salamanders because the Salamanders just keep setting them on fire, and then they burn all the squigs and all the mushroom spores. So then they can't reinforce the lines, and it's not fun to fight like that. I believe. Ultramarines and like things like Raptors and stuff, they do advanced tactics and stuff a bit more, and fight a bit more like how Eldar do against orcs, making them not very fun. And especially now that Primaris are around, they use things like repulsors and impulsors and storm speeders, and they're just like, stay still, I want to punch you. I would think it gun 9 suck when you're a shroom. Isn't that meat jar created in Mexico? Oh. We like how the gun 9s don't disappear into the ether. Yeah, that's why they like fighting humans. They do find humans, like especially for Kriegsmen, can be a bit boring because they don't change the tactics. They really enjoy fighting the people like Yavik. They love being Armageddon Steel Legion. And the likes of them because they change their tactics quite often. Because they have the big old Scud 9s, but then sometimes they just attack you from the flank. And it's fun when they do that. Or sometimes they charge with like this big old tank line. It's like, yeah, big old tank lines. Or then they got the big old cavalry charges. And that's what they like. They like it when they've got changing tactics. They like it when you use lots of different tactics. They like it when you're not afraid to get into the nitty-gritty of a fight. And that's what they love the most. When you just rely on the same tactic over and over and over, they get a bit bored of it. When you don't stay still and you don't want to get into the nitty-gritty of a fight, they're not very happy if they don't like it. And if you win, if you just keep winning by overwhelming firepower, or like by overwhelming superiority, they're not going to be very happy about it either. So yeah. There's also that Orc Warband that Korn's personal entertainment. They basically ended up in Valhalla. Yeah, where they get reincarnated constantly. They're on a planet where they're on a planet in the warp where they fight demons every single day until they die, and then at the end of the day, or the dawn of a new day, they get reincarnated to fight again. Or not reincarnated, respawned effectively. They went into the Eye of Terror to fight demons, and then they ended up attacking one demon world after the next, just wiping out every demon on the planet and going to the next planet and then the next planet and the next planet until eventually they found a demon world that defeated them. But Korn found them so much joy that at the dawn of the next day he brought them back to life, and so they could continue the cycle over and over. And the orcs are very happy about that. Okay, but anyway, we're talking about Eldar. We're not orcs. I'm sorry, I forgot. I got distracted. I got onto all sorts of stuff from behind heavy support squads. Let loose blazing arcs of lightning and unleash esoteric weapons that rip holes in the fabric of reality itself. When Eldar training and discipline is married to their to their martial technology, few opponents can withstand their deadly attacks. I actually really like Guardians. One of the things that made me want to first get an Eldar army was reading about Guardians and how they were just normal civilians who were... They were basically civilian conscripts, and it's like every Sunday they go to, you know, train and fight, or like every third Sunday or something stupid like that, but because they've been alive for like 300 years, that actually adds up to quite a lot of training. So they're pretty good fighters. And then because they got heavy weapon platforms and stuff, I just really liked how they were. And then when I was reading about the weapons, I just liked the fact that they just had the same types of weapons that the Imperium had. It's like, oh, they just got melter guns. That's just a melter gun. That's just a plasma gun. It's just the same types of weapons, just slightly better. And I'm like, ooh, oh, that's just a last cannon, just better. So I really liked it. I always wanted to get one and just have like a civilian army, just have like an Imperial Guard army for Eldar, and like just focus it around tanks, guardians and stuff like that. But that's not what we're doing. We're going with Corsairs because I'd also like Corsairs. We're going with, you know, the Imperial Guard army, but more guardsmen, cultists. One of them bit off a blood versus meat and two veg, which made Korn chuckle. Wait, blood versus of meat and two veg? I don't believe it. Actually, no, Korn does like to be a man. So it doesn't surprise me that Korn's demons also, what's it called? Take the form of a man quite often. Tzeentch doesn't like to take the form of a man or a woman, and the demons often don't take the form of a man or a woman or a fixed form. Slaanesh also doesn't take a fixed form very often. Nurgle generally takes the form of a man too. Well, yeah, Korn likes to take the form of a man and take wives and stuff. It's very weird. So you wanted Ulfwe. Ulfwe! I don't know. I don't know. I just liked the idea of, you know, Eldar guardsmen. The Aeldari armory. Also, I like shuriken catapults. I always just find the idea of just throwing thousands of splinters at your opponent hilarious. Slaanesh war forms are interesting enough, a blend of the sexes, which I think is neat. Yay! I think that's in part meant to just be because Slaanesh hasn't actually chosen yet. Tzeentch is purposely, because Tzeentch is the Lord of Change, Tzeentch has purposely not chosen either gender, while Slaanesh is quite young and hasn't chosen a form yet. It's actually interesting reading about them because they're about, you know, the genders of the gods, because they actively chose the genders. Oh. And like how they appear to people. I think Korn almost always exclusively appears as a dude, but Nurgle will sometimes appear as a female. If it will, I say appears, but do you know, will... Sometimes, like, Nurgle will possess people or whatever, or, you know, take forms to gain champions and stuff. And sometimes when doing that, it might be the form of a woman. Or the voice of a woman, if it will help entice somebody to join Nurgle. But Korn will almost exclusively just go male. It's like, Korn's like, no, I'm a dude. Like, I'm a manly man is Korn. But I think it's like Festus. Is it Festus? One of them, I think, when Nurgle was trying to get like a doctor or somebody to join him. Was it Festus or was it a different doctor? He possessed I think it was his own daughter of a doctor. Like after she died. To get him to join. To join and worship Nurgle. But that's the kind of thing Korn would rarely ever do. And I find that interesting. I have to say, the Great Clean One is one of the best modifications. Oh yeah, the Great Clean One. The Great Clean One just looks like, you know, for Brexit geezer. For typical Brexit geezer. It just reminds me of that meme. Yo, Tony, how you doing? Korn likes to take the form of a man, as does Nurgle. Yeah, Nurgle prefers the form of a man. That's why he's Grandpa Nurgle. Tzeentch just likes being in robes and hoods, yeah. And he's also the Lord of Change, so he doesn't really take any one form. He likes being bird. He likes being a burb. Or it likes being a burb. That's the only thing about Tzeentch. That's like... And also, yeah, Tzeentch does like robes and hoods. But also, they like burbs. That's like the only two things that stay as a constant with Tzeentch. Slaanesh made a new box called Yes and ticked it. Yeah. Although I think the thing with Tzeentch is, with Slaanesh, is that Slaanesh, as far as gods go, is still very young. And as a result, hasn't yet settled in effectively into their form or place. And is still very reckless. I think that's part of Slaanesh's personality, but at the same time, I think that's just part of Slaanesh just being, as far as the goddess, is just young. Maybe Korn is trying to say something, but all his forms are always big beef. big burly beefy beefcakes. I mean, considering the amount of wives that Khan takes, it's... That being said, most of his wives are also big burly beefy beefcakes too, so I don't know. Wait, he's trying to say don't skip any day. Work all the muscles, work all the muscles. Great clean one is Mr. Kratos seat incarnate. I'm okay. I'm okay. Yeek. I'm doing okay. I'm on an increased dose of my meds now. So I'm hoping it's going to be okay, but I'm slightly worried. Anyway, Aeldari armor, Aeldari armory, Eldar armory. But Aeldari, make use. Aegis. Wait, should that be read as E? For Aeldari, because Aegis, which is I think it's Aegis, isn't it? Or is it Aegis? No, it's Aegis. Like, do you know AEGEIS, which means shield? That's read Aegis, isn't it? Is that just read Aeldari? I don't know. Aeldari make use of their different types of weapons, most of which are unique to their species. Occasionally, other species experiment with similar technologies, such as Imperial use of plasma weapons, but these attempts pale in comparison to their high artifice and excellence of Aeldari craftsmanship. Cornwell, being biggest and burliest, is also into his muscle mummies, truly a god of culture. For wise and political, Gulliman had an actual mom. Gulliman did actually have an actual mother. He was raised well. Shuriken catapult. Hey, K-Trax! By the way. Ow! Erland. Why? Shuriken catapults and pistols. I like shuriken catapults and pistols, and also splinter catapults and pistols. These are one of my favourite types of... I just like the idea of just throwing splinters at your enemies. Shuriken weapons are characteristic small arms of the Assyrian forces. They use magnetic repulsion to hurl out microscopic thin discs that rip through bone, flesh and armour with ease. They are most effective at short to medium ranges, losing considerable accuracy over long distances. But it's more than compensated for by their rate of fire, which can reach over 100 pickup shots per second. D-cannons! Taste this deek! D-cannons are horrifying and powerful weapons. D-cannons? D-cannons! They rip a hole in real space! Opening up brief miniature portal to the warp. The target may be pulled in whole, but more often they are torn apart by the sudden force exerted upon them. I kind of now want a story about, do you know, a guardsman? A guardsman, not a space marine, a guardsman, perhaps Acadian, because, oh gosh, Thor and Erland are fighting. Oh gosh, Thor just got crit. Oh god, I don't think Thor's gonna survive. Dodge, Thor, dodge! He's only got one hit left. Crit, Thor, crit. He's not critted. Dodge, dodge. Oh my goodness, Thor got destroyed. The plunger could not win. The plunger could not win. Oh no. Thor. Oh goodness, the lollipop wizard. Well, what I kind of want now is a story where a guardsman gets hit by a D-cannon and it sends him into a warp, but he survives. Or she. Hi, Natsu. How you doing? Hello. But they survive, and then they manage to come out the other side, and they're like, oh, I'm a changed person. Or maybe of a psycho.
Fun fact, my own Aeldari army is officially in the Eldar map. It's a maiden world called Sinnoth.
Ooh. Hello, Underworld Gaming. Oh, that's nice. My Aeldari army is just going to be a pirate group. That just travels around, and they're going to be very impoverished. And they're going to have a lot of, like... I imagine they were part of, like, a small craft world that got really badly damaged or something. Or, like, they're just Aeldari survivors or whatever. For dairy survivors. They changed the D cannon. Ooh, wait, what's this? They changed the D cannon, used to suck the soul out of the target like nothing would happen. The person next to you just drops dead. Oh. I guess that makes sense, because now it would work better on vehicles and Tyranids and stuff. Because I guess the D cannon made no sense against things without the soul. Elder God Uzak, hello, how are you doing? Everyone's turning up right now. Wouldn't said guardsmen just be executed by the Inquisition? Depends. Depends if the Inquisition ever found out. Either that, or it depends which Inquisitor found out. Like, some Inquisitors would be like, wait a minute. You went through... Wait a minute, a D cannon hit you. You went into the warp. You survived and managed to escape. I could use them. I could use a woman like you. I've decided it's a woman. It's a woman. The story's about a woman. She gets hit by a D cannon. She gets hit by that D cannon, and it changes her. Star cannon.
Who's hot at Tower Eldar?
Hi, Nanovate. How you doing? Who's hot to Tower Eldar? Neither. They're both see no scum. Star cannons are highly advanced plasma. Oh, they're plasma. I always thought these were like glass cannons. Star cannons are highly advanced plasma weapons, leveraging the Aeldari's... Oh no, I was thinking bright lances. Never mind. Yeah, these are plasma ones. Leveraging the Aeldari's unmatched mastery of the technology, they fire white-hot plasma at the enemy, while the exterior of the weapon remains cool to the touch. Cool to the... Ah, that burns. They lied to me. You're dying from allergies. Ooh! I just had to get some Baconage today. Hay fever relief for adults. It has to be a nasal spray for me because tablets make my tummy go all bad. Unfortunately though, these nasal sprays, you can't really use them for too long because after... after a few days, yeah. Yeah, do not use it for more than a month because it damages the thin layer of skin in your nose. How have cute to mechs and drones. No, I really love the two things I like about Tau are one, I kind of just like the idea of the Eldar Guardians. Actually, for Eldar, I kind of like the Corsairs, the Dark Eldar, and the Wraith Lords. I really love the Wraiths. All of the Wraith and Bone Construct stuff I adore. I'm not a big fan of the Tau drones. I love the Tau auxiliaries. My favourite thing are Tau auxiliaries and railguns. I absolutely adore railguns and auxiliaries and a bit of the battle suits. I kind of want to make an auxiliary army for Tau. I just don't know how to make the auxiliary army because everyone always makes, you know, human auxiliaries for Tau. And I don't want to make human auxiliaries. I kind of want to make a Kroot army. But I kind of want to figure out how to make a different auxiliary army. Like, I want to find an alien species that you could make for the Tau and do that. Like, what other alien species is there that we could modify and convert the Tau into Tau stuff, into Tau auxiliaries? It would be fun. It would be fun. Dark Eldar. No, the tower aren't hot. No. We can't have heresy and blasphemy here. Xenos are not hot. They're cold. They're bad. Eldar have wizards.
What would happen to Kroot if they ate cupcakes?
They'll die a painful, horrible death. Crush them. I'd crush them. That's what I'll do to the crew. And then I'll bake them into a cupcake. Yay! But they say that the star cannon is better tech, but star cannons can't overcharge and have the same stats on no power. Humans are just that nutty. Star cannon. Actually, let me open up my app. Let me open up my app to look at the Eldar star cannon. Combat Patrol. Void Reavers. Blaster. No. Do Guardian Defenders get storm cannons? I wonder. Star Cannon. Yeah, there we go. Star Cannon. Star Cannon is strength 8, AP -3, damage 2, attacks 2. 36-inch range. A plasma cannon. A plasma cannon's technically better. Because a plasma cannon gets... Wait, doesn't a plasma cannon get D6 attacks? Blast. Strength 8. AP -3. Damage 2. With a blast special rule. I mean, hazardous special rule, but also blast special rule and more attacks. So that means an overcharged plasma cannon is better than a star cannon. Because it's got a bigger blast. Because it explodes. Wait a minute. What can they for? Surely that can get a star cannon, right? It has the same stats. Okay, what about if we look at the... What's that big old vehicle called? What's that big vehicles?
No idea, I've only played Space Marine 1 plasma gun and pistol go pew pew and enemies disintegrate.
Plasma guns do that. Crimson Hunter. That has 2 star cannons. Yeah, that's got the same stat line. Okay.
In Apocalypse, if you have 2 or 3 to 3, they become D weapons.
They become D weapons. D weapons! Oh wait, we don't have D weapons anymore, do we? Because things can be over strength 8, strength 10 now. Because it's like in, I have strength 16 weapons on my... Oh, what's it called? My Sicaran Venator. It's like my siege tank, and it's got strength 16 weapons, AP -4, damage. I think only 3 on it. Oh no, is it D6? I actually can check. Siege Force, Sicaran Venator, Venator neutral laser, strength 16, AP -4, damage D3 +3. And it gets 3 attacks. Yeah. Let me check. Let me check these plasma cannons. Plasma cannons. Plasma cannons. Plasma cannons. Yeah, our plasma cannons have the same stat line, but they get blast They get D3 attacks instead of 2 attacks. So that means on average 2, but they can get up to 3. And they get Blast. But if you just undercharge them, they still do damage 1, for strength 7, and they get the D3 attacks, and they still get... You know what? I'd rather just have the Imperial... I think they need to give the Star Cannon's Blast special rule. Yeah. Or increase the number of attacks they do to like 4 or something stupid to make them actually feel better than a plasma cannon. Like between a Star Cannon and a plasma cannon, I'd take a plasma cannon any day. They called it a siege tank again. It is a siege tank. It's good. Destruction or Destroy the shortage, but yeah, I think they stopped D8 about 2 years ago. Yeah. Okay, Bright Lances. Bright Lances are huge laser weapons that can burn straight through their targets. They are constructed with physically grown crystals at their heart that concentrate and filter the light as it leaves their barrel. Due to the intense beams they generate, they rely on the extremely efficient power generation systems that are used by the Aeldari. You know, it sounds weird to use grown crystals, but we actually grow crystals in real life. We synthetically grow diamonds. I've actually got rings that have synthetically grown sapphires in them, and topazes and diamonds. Yeah, synthetically grown crystals are amazing. Scorpion claws. Enough lore.
Enough paint the space elves.
I don't have them built yet. How the hell do you expect? No. We're reading today. Plasma grenades. Oh my goodness, plasma grenades. Sticky grenades. Plasma grenades are one of the finest achievements in plasma technology. Once thrown, they explode in a furious bowl of searing plasma, making short work of any nearby infantry and lightly armoured vehicles. Violence is alright, but prism cannon on the tank. I love prism cannons, they're cool. Scorpion's Claw is an ancient weapon of striking scorpion exarchs. It takes the form of a powered claw-shaped glove with a shuriken catapult incorporated into its back. In combat, it can be used to crush and tear the enemy's armour. Ghost Glaives. A Ghost Glaive is a large power sword that is carried by wraith constructs such as Wraith Lords. Ghost Glaives are set with a spirit stone that holds the soul of a deceased Aeldari warrior, granting the weapon a sentience of its own. Why does a sword need a sentience? Phoenix Lords are the embodiment of a path of a warrior. Look at that dude. Look at him. He's a big old silly man. He's a big old... Look, he's got the yin and yang symbol on him. He's got a big old screaming face. And his gun's going boom, boom, boom. The only Aeldari I've got built isn't even undercoated yet. I'm thinking it. Once I know what colour scheme I want to go for, I'll probably undercoat them in green or orange. Ah, the first aspect. Out of all the aspect warriors, I have to say Dire Avengers might be my favourite. It's close with the Fire Dragons though, because I just love Melt. I'm back. Yeah. There we go. My internet fell off. But yeah, favourite is Dire Warriors, but Fire Warriors might be my favourite because I just love Melter weapons so much. Melters are amazing. This is why my heavy detachment has 2 units at the very least of the Melter Graphis troops, and it's 2 units of 6. Oh gosh. Hunters are an aspect. I've never heard of a Crimson Hunters. The Aeldari of a craftsworld known as the Asayani keep to a strict discipline linked for occupation and place in society. This is known as the path. They carefully focus on mental order, attainment of skill and higher learning, shunning lower pleasures and the cheap and brief thrill of enjoyable sensations. Crimson Hunters are the jets, I think. Oh, the jet bikers! Ooh, I think I know which ones you mean. Are those the ones where there's two of them? Oh, and you got the Shining Lancers too. Yeah. Yeah, the planes are Aspect Warriors. The Top Gun Intensified. Top Guns! Ooh. I forgot about those guys. Aeldari are a poor people who are naturally drawn to the pleasures and even excess. To guard against falling to the weakness of emotion and sensation, the Asayani have developed a series of paths, a highly controlled and regulated study of being nerds, practically to a point of perfection. Every nerd is expected to intensely focus on their path to the exclusion of all other things. This allows the nerd a small amount of measured satisfaction, enough to satiate them, but not so much that they risk falling into a spiral of self-gratification. There are many paths to choose from: sculpture, warfare, dance, science, even agriculture. Each path encompasses everything that the nerd needs to live a full life, so he will not have to step off their path for even a moment. But for after many years, some nerds do choose a new path. Each path is carefully designed to contribute to the survival of a craft world and its inhabitants, and no path is seen as being less important or less worthy than any other. Shining Lances are not known in many craft worlds, but usually with the Samhain. Oh, I never knew that. I don't know a lot about the Aeldari, and the lore has expanded and changed. Well, maybe not changed, but it's expanded quite a lot since I last played. Like when I last played, the idea of having Dark Eldar and Eldar working side by side was like, if you said to somebody, hey, do you mind if I ally my Eldar and Dark Eldar together? They'd be like, are you having a laugh, mate? Are you having a laugh? You can't have that. Well, you can do, but they don't work very well together. Because technically at one point they did say, okay, anybody can ally with anybody. It's just, we've got this ally table about how well two groups can ally together. Path of the Outcast. Oh, look at them. That's a ranger person. Not all Asayani choose to live aboard craft roads. Some find structure and constraint to be too difficult to bear, and these Asayani take the path of the Outcast instead. Some of those who leave will still serve their craft world in one way or another, perhaps by scouting out enemies, fighting as rangers, or serving as shroud runners. Others will act as agents of their people, raging far and wide to recover ancient artifacts or the lost spirit stones of fallen. And some on this path will split from their craft world entirely, seeking out adventure or alien treasure, perhaps returning at some distant point of the future when they have had their fill of adventure, and may look to another path aboard a craft world for respite. Funny enough, Path of the Outcast, Path of the Warrior, and Path of the Seer are actually books. Ooh, I never knew that. Maybe we'll read them one day. I like the Warp Spiders, teleporty lads. Oh yeah, they got new models finally recently. Shining Spears, Land Spikes, and Shadow Spectres. Oh, Shadow Spectres, they're the ones with big death lance weapons, aren't they? They're terrifying. They're shuffled off this mortal plane, and I'm sad. Wait, Shadow Spectres have shuffled off this mortal plane? Right, I'm gonna have to look this. I swear I saw a Shadow Spectre model. Or was I thinking of something else? Am I thinking of something else? Let me open up the Games Workshop website. Actually, let me just open up Google first. I'll just Google Shadow Spectre. Eldar Shadow Spectre. I accidentally typed Spectre. Oh, I know which ones you mean. Oh, they were cool. I only saw them a little. Okay, I'm just gonna have to make sure I can find a link that's not good to do something stupid. Oh, let me just open an image of them. Like, I can't open an image of them. That's not just going to open a link up. I want to open image in new tab, not link. Okay, that's fine. That's fine. Windows capture. There we go. Shadow Spectres. They're cool. Look how cool they are. Warp Spiders found their lord and the Shadow Spectres have cut him back. I got a box of Spectres and their Phoenix Spectres. Wait, Shadow Spectres have come back. Give me a moment. Nice stuff. Nice stuff. Let me look over here. Warhammer 40k. Xenos armies. Aeldari. Okay, yeah, it's really weird looking at Aeldari and it keeps showing me Dark Eldar stuff. Look at these, Cupcake Warriors. I really like these Wraithguard and Wraithblade stuff. They're so cool. We're gonna get some of them because they come in the box. I'm gonna get... I really like these Fire Dragons. I love them. I want one of them, but, you know... Lancers, Rangers. I want one of them, but he's always been out of stock everywhere I've looked. I like Dark Reapers, they're cool. I remember fighting Dark Reapers and they were so annoying back when they had the blast rules. Especially when you had a Dark, you know, this dude. What was it, that dude? I think he had a Lord that, you know, had the big old scythe, but it wasn't Magnum Ra. I think he had a generic Lord or something like that. Here he is, yeah, the Death Jester. Yeah, he was annoying to fight. I just remember them being devastating. Yeah, they've not brought the Death Spectres back yet, to think. For League in games. Yeah, for League, but only in Legends. I think. Unless they are back in the new Codex. If in the new Codex, then maybe they'll be printing the models again. Because a lot of the new models that they're bringing out are, you know, for reprinting. They've not reprinted yet. They've only announced them. Solitaire, look at that cool thing. I might get some fire dragons eventually. But I like to have like a story and lore for my models. These are plastic, right? They're probably plastic. They used to be metal when I played, yeah. So they'll be easy to convert. I could create fire dragons that aren't actually, do you know, actual fire dragons instead for just Corsairs that have magma guns. Actually, I might be able to. If we look into here, I think we have. Yeah, I think I have a bunch of fire dragon guns here. There's 2 of them at least. So I might be able to make. I might be able to make some fire dragons just using fire dragon guns here. get dragons and mages to... Actually, I did see someone who made an Imperial Knight proxy from a dragon from Age of Sigmar, and it looked amazing. I kind of want to find it now. You want me to find it? I'll find it. Imperial Knight Dragon Proxy. Where is it? Oh, it's here. Here it goes. Imperial Dragon.
This tangent is long and winding. That's not a call to stop, just making an observation.
Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. There we go. It's this thing. This is an Imperial Knight. Imperial Dragon Proxy. Ah, oh, look at it. Look at this thing. There we go. This is better. Oh, it's so cool. And look at that little cup in her hand. And it's got the thing from the bombardment cannon on its back and a giant chainsword. And she's called Pendrake, like Pendragon. Oh, but look at the little dude at the foot. It's like, oh, it's adorable. And she's got this cool power pack. It's got to be one of the coolest proxies I've ever seen. But anyway, Path of a Warrior. Aeldari's species is only a fragment of what it once was. And as they are so few in number, almost all Asuryani will heed the call to war at some point in their lives. But those who walk the Path of a Warrior will each choose a particular branch in this path. Inspired by the aspect of Cain, the bloody-handed god, these aspect warriors will serve at a shrine that is dedicated to the aspect they follow, and they will master the signature arms, equipment and tactics of their chosen discipline. In war, different aspect warriors come together under the leadership of the Craftworld's commanders. Together, their individual power is multiplied many times over, and they are melded into an unstoppable force. The Path of a Seer, now that looks Slaneshi. Or Sinchi. The Path of a Seer is the most difficult and dangerous of the paths known as a witch path. Those who walk it are intimately connected to the warp and risk death and madness with every step. Some who walk this path become trapped and unable to leave. Many of these become Farseers, and they are able to position there, and they are elevated to positions of leadership within their craft world. But responsibilities lie heavy on them, and few would envy their burden. Even worse is the eventual fate of all Farseers. Once they have advanced far enough down the path, their obsession with the metaphysical overcomes their physical body, and it slowly turns into a delicate psycho crystal. Once transformed, their frozen form is linked into their craft world's infinity circuit forever. Ooh. A Great Rift! Okay, now we've gone back to Imperial stuff because although Gulliman's here, so at least a little bit Aeldari. Known as the Imperium, Gork's Grin to the Orcs. Wait, so known as Citrix Maledictum to the Imperium, Gork's Grin to the Orcs, and Dephodias to the Aeldari, and many other names besides, the Great Rift is a tear in the fabric of reality that divides the galaxy. Waves of unnatural energy radiate from it, rendering interstellar travel and communication next to impossible. Exercise time! Never! I exercised today, and it's a hand cam, so it's hard to do stuff, you know. I just saw something on Twitter of a guy making a librarian mask for his cat, and he put it on his cat. His cat is much 40k. Branry was showing a Black Templar chaplain mask on a cat earlier, and it was from something on Twitter, I believe. And it was on the Discord. I have seen the future, and it is death. Oh. Imperium Nihilus. When reality was sundered, a shock wave of psychic energy was unleashed, destroying or corrupting planets in its path. Hordes of demons spilled forth. Heretical cults arose, decrying the end of civilization. Entire populations turned upon themselves. In frenzies of self-destructive violence, huge tracts of imperial space have been rendered all but unreachable by the rolling warp storms of a great rift. Severed from the rest of the Impus realm and cut off from terror, each system of Imperium Nihilus must stand alone against horrors of a night. Ooh, maybe. Oh, that'd be so cool if what if our Eldar were actually trapped in Imperium, the Nihilus side of everything? When the warp rift happened and it cut them off from the webway as well. And that's why they became Eldar pirates. That'd be cool. I just shared a video of a cat. Ooh. Ooh. Stream. Alive.
I love how they reuse the same shtick between the Heresy and ENvtuber's era. Hey look, Ruin Storm, meet your bigger brother Great Rift.
Oh goodness. I mean, technically they also had this before. It's because back when Slaanesh was born and the Dark Age of technology came to an end, they had the same sort of thing going on, except instead of a Great Rift, splitting stuff in half, it was just, yeah, entire universe, entire galaxy just, yeah, that's just going to now be engulfed in a massive storm that makes space travel impossible for a while. Oof. Imperium Sanctus. The portion of humanity's realm that is known as Imperium Sanctus is a half that fared better in the wake of the Great Rift's opening. Many systems in this region are still within reach of a guiding beacon of Astronomicon, the psychic signal that makes interstellar travel and communication possible, granting Imperium Sanctus a degree of stability. It is here that Lord Gulliman's martial crusade fleets hoping to beat back the forces of darkness and restore light to Imperium Nihilus. Oh, look at them. Look at them. This is the stuff that we'll have soon. We've already got that one. We've got Phase 10 just arrived. We got that one just arrived. Phase 5 shall be next. And then we'll have 5 more bony boys. And we've got the 10 Corsairs. And I think that's it, isn't it? Yeah, I got the old talk. Windstorm separating Segmentum, Tempest, and Ultramar from the rest of the galaxy, and the Great Rift separating Segmentum Obscurus. I think it's Obscurus. Obscurus. I mean, it's very obscure, isn't it? Oh wait, I was meant to click on a funny video of a cat. That's not a librarian head! Erland. That's not a librarian head. That's got a Templar symbol on it. That's a chaplain mask. That's chaplain. What hat is that? It's a chaplain because that's got the Templar symbol on it, and Templars don't have librarians because Templars don't like librarians. Yeah, because they don't have psychus. Okay, let's look over here. Reality sundered. The Great Rift was brought about by the machinations of the followers of Chaos in a bid to bring the Mad Realm into real space. One of the things wasn't this similar to the campaign that... Oh, what was it? The End Times campaign. In which the End Times campaign happened, and I believe Chaos actually lost when it was played the first time. Because people played it in real life. Templars have a witch hunt and don't use psychic models. Yeah. I believe technically they can, but you can't use their special rules if you do use librarians and stuff. You can't use their detachments if you have librarians. That being said, it's like in my armies, I don't actually use the Black Templar detachments that often because it's just not worthwhile. The detachments just aren't that powerful. It's, or at least not for the armies that are created, but that's because I just created thematic armies, and as a result, I just picked thematic detachments that matched the armies I built. Ships in the Arc Mechanicus you can build, play in BFG, and oh my goodness, it folds other ships in two. Ooh, that makes sense, I guess. Storm of Chaos. Yeah, oh yeah, in this thing, didn't Archon actually kind of lose a lot of the fights? Like, Chaos lost a lot of them. Yeah, they still brought about for end times anyway. Oh, well, for 40k sort of end times, Imperial Nihilus and stuff. Like, isn't that the entire thing of why he ended up having to crash the big old ship into Cadia? Because he actually he lost the ground battle on Cadia. So they had to blow up Cadia. Archaon. Not Archaon, sorry. Abaddon. Abaddon, sorry. Why did I say Archaon? Abaddon. I might be wrong there. Because it was a long time ago those stuff happened. But I'm pretty... Because they have done a few of those things where they do deal with those campaigns and stuff, and then they... It's like, look, we're gonna try doing the 13th Crusade. Who's gonna... Well, we're gonna have the Forces of Chaos, and everyone's gonna try stopping the Forces of Chaos. It's like, oh no, the Forces of Chaos lost. Well, we already wrote the story of Chaos winning, so... Abaddon, throw your black ship into Cadia. Blow it up. Archaon, Abaddon's bros getting upstaged by better bring out on the end times. No, sorry, I meant Abaddon. Oh gosh. I keep getting confused between why do we give him such similar names? Could have named him like not Abaddon and Abaddon. Nope. Yeah. But Horus slapped his ship against the Black Fortress, and that's what blew up Cadia. Yeah, not Horus, that was Abaddon. Abaddon threw the black ship into it. There's only so many fake names after all. Yeah, Abaddon abandoned all the hope and just threw his ship at the Black Fortress. Yeah, he got so badly beaten, his ship got smashed to pieces, his Black Fortress got smashed to pieces, he lost a ground battle, and then he had to throw his spattered old fortress into the planet, blowing it up, and to finally win. I guess that is a very fitting thing. That is actually very fun, the idea that he got so badly beaten that his only hope of success came in throwing away everything he had to smash the planet that he was fighting over. Like, he threw away his one super weapon. And his... I think it was like his... effective daughter on that ship or something stupid. Hundreds of his soldiers, his best commanders and all sorts of stuff were lost. Oh, lost the respect of loads of his army officers. He did succeed in extending the warp. I think Gulliman came about. Rather than literally throwing toys at the pram, or in this case, at the planet. So he really won in the end. Yeah. He won. But at the same time, I guess if they really forced him to win, it's a fun way to have it done. Gulliman sucks. No, Gulliman's great. Gorilla Man is... I like Gorilla Man. I've been listening to, you know, some of the stories about, you know, for heresy and stuff, and it's made Gorilla Man. The recent stories that have been coming out about for heresy, and I say for recent, they're not that recent, but they're recent to me. I do know for Indomitus Crusade stuff, it's made me actually come to like Gulliman a lot more. I prefer the heretical version of Gulliman. No, there's no such thing. All the best Ultramarine characters have massive case of Ultra Depresso. Oh, what's the guy called? Oh, what's the one everyone hates, or loves to hate rather, for Ultramarine character? And he always wears that big mohawk thing on his head. I call it a mohawk. It's not a mohawk. I think his name begins with S. Oh, I forgot his name. I don't know. Gulliman stands atop this pioneer. Gulliman is so depresso. I really like looking at this his heresy era model that's got a slight, ever so slight smirk. Like, he's not very happy, but he's not that depresso. I've only looked at his 40k model and he's just got the biggest frown ever. He's so upset, he's so angry, he looks like he's about to cry. And it's like, oh my goodness, what did we do to my boat? What did we do to my... He's got a big old flamey sword now.
Cato Sicarius, the greatest ultramarine captain, for the greatest captain is I, Cato Sicarius.
Cato Sicarius, yes! Oh my goodness, he's great. He's great, I love that dude. I really don't like Caligor. Caligor is somebody I don't like. Sicarius, love him. I also love some of the Ultramarines, some of the Horus Heresy books. There's one that begins with Fee. He's just stupid. He's just so over the top as well. Oh, I don't know. I can't remember his name. TGS version is best. He's just so power fistable. Anyway. The Great Rift was brought about by the machinations of the followers of Chaos in a bid to bring their mad realm into real space. Although none know for certain how this was achieved, many point to the destruction of the planet Cadia and its ancient pylons, the fracturing of Baeltan craftwood, of the resurrection of a death god Yenid as key events in its formation. I mean, while it was successful in creating the Great Rift, the fact that it was only a rift and the rift didn't spread too far and completely destroy reality. It's good. The Nachman Gauntlet. The turmoil, and also the fact that there is an ability to travel between the rift, and the rift seems to be getting smaller, is also good. The turmoil caused by the warp in the warp by the violent emergence of a great rift has rendered warp travel even more dangerous and unpredictable than normal. It is virtually impossible to cross from one side to the other in all but a handful of areas. The largest and most stable of these passages is the Nakman Gauntlet, which is fiercely contested by the Imperium and the forces of chaos. An empire divided. I wonder if a webway is safe to travel. I'm not sure if a webway is safe to travel through the rift. Rift isn't just the only bit. The rift destabilized reality everywhere, so minor eyes were opened. Oh. Oh. Eyes of terror. Wait, minor eyes of terror, so more like eyes of anxiety. eyes of mild panic attacks. Eyes of bombardment. No. Eyes of March. Ow, ow, ow. You got 2 bananas balanced on my head. Get them off. An empire divided. The Ceratrix Maledictum has also played havoc with interstellar communication, preventing messages from being sent across it. The Imperium now finds itself essentially cut in half. It's effectively 2 realms, Imperium Sanctus and Imperium Nihilus, and many worlds and systems are isolated. Yay! A Samhain combat patrol advances on a hidden enemy position. They're gonna get eaten. Naming your models and units, blah blah blah. Oath of moment. Empower Space Marines. Swear mighty oaths to destroy the enemies of the Empire. Why does that look like a backwards 3? And uphold the honour of their chapter. Such vows are sacrosanct. I can read. When the angels of a death strike, they do so. When the angels of death strike, they do so with precision of a surgeon and with a force of a thunderbolt. I can read. Experience and strategic XPs help with reading, shifting shape. Okay, Oath of movement and stuff. It's great. It's great. Combat patrol, Oath of moment. Oath of moment is just an ability that a Space Marines have, where they can just target an enemy and go, you know what? Anyone who shoots the enemy gets to reroll to hit this turn. Yay! I was elected to stream, not to read.
I was elected to stream, not to read.
Cuptle, you're not quick enough. Eyes of perturbedness. Another combat patrol. Another, look at this big old gun. Look at this big old gun. It's got a star lance. Oh, a big old shoot. No, is that for shuriken cannon? That might be for big old plasma cannon there. That one might be, I don't know. I don't know what that's meant to be. Are you going to tell me? Like, you're just going to tell me how to paint from red. Did the old magazine tell me how to... which one's what? Can you tell me which weapon's which? No, you don't tell me which weapon's which. Okay, here we go. So... this one's a plasma cannon. This one's a D cannon. This one looks like the bright lance. That one I'm guessing is a shuriken cannon. And that one is a big old Gatling gun. I never knew they had Gatling guns. Oh look, they got a chainsword. Some ground. Some other swords. Ooh, more chains. Could I convert these guys into striking scorpions? Ooh, more power swords. They got power swords. When could you convert guardians into power sword dudes? Ooh. One of them should be a spin. Oh, a spinner! Okay, for Gatling gun is probably for spinner then. Okay, those are probably plasma grenades there, or extra ammo. I'm guessing those are for assault guardians then. Oh yeah, Eldar indirect weapon is just a net of hyperdense microfilament that cuts through people, like the hallway scene in Resident Evil. If you know, you know. I can imagine, but I don't know. Bases. Okay, putting that back away. Look, big old chainsaw. First spawn wing, as you can tell because he's got the screamy face. How to paint. How to paint. Hee look at his face. The fall of the Aeldari. Oh, how did they fall? Well, it was kind of like this for Aeldari.
To pieces, you say?
To pieces, shoot. To pieces. Mississippi Redcon, hello. But anyway, yeah, for the Aeldari one day we're going la-di-da-di-da-di-da, 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 la-di-da-di-da, and then Tyranid. No, it was a Thespid Stingwing came out and we're like, trip. It's like, and he was at the top of the stairs at the time. I was like, ba-dunk. And then he fell down the other stair and ba-dunk. And then onto the next step and ba-dunk, and ba-dunk, ba-dunk. And each time he fell on the side of his head. So his head became really long and extended. Like, you know, this cone shape. That cone shape there. So that's why all the Eldar helmets are cone shaped now. Because they got really big bumps on their heads. From falling downstairs. You know how the cheese wire works? Now imagine that happens to your entire squad multiple times per person. Yeah, that's why you wear armor, dude. That's why you wear armor. Armor. By the way, can I just show something? This is a space marine. This is a space marine that tells you not to worry about. This is you. This is the space marine sword. This is your sword. Well, this is your giant lance. Stab, shib. Stab. But he's got his protection on. Stab. That's why you should always wear protection. He didn't get good enough protection. He did. That's why he's got... Look at that big old shoulder pad. Look at that big old shoulder pad. Look at this. Yeah. To be fair, it's an APC, well, last time I checked. Yep. You know how cheese wire works. Following the fall, many of the Aeldari now live aboard gigantic craft worlds. I'm gonna have to turn that light off. There you go. Look at that. Look at that bubbly stuff. Now, this doesn't give you a good idea of how big the craft world is. Now, if that had a giant shadow on it from the craft world, if that planet had a giant shadow on it, or if the craft world had a shadow on it from the planet, that could give you an idea of how big the craft world was. But it's very hard to tell here how big the craft world actually is. Because I don't know how big these ships are, like these tiny ships down there. Better argument for protection in most school programs. Yeah, always wear your armor. TFS. You said you were wearing protection. I was wearing my armor. Oh, goodness. Oh. Pride comes before the fall, and so it was that the Aeldari, supreme masters of technology, lapsed into contented complacency. Unafraid of a younger species, and unconcerned by any threat from without, they sank into indulgence. It was a mistake that would shatter their civilization and unleash a new horror on the galaxy. Once Aeldari's civilization stood with the whole of the galaxy at its feet, her unparalleled mastery of travel, military strategy and technology saw their empire spread practically uncontested across vast regions of space. On each world, a near-perfect paradise was established, in which the Aeldari sought to experience the highest of pleasures. Gradually, the Aeldari turned from finding joy in learning and a mastery of skill to indulging in sensation and hedonism. Eventually, they became consumed by their quest to gratify every desire, falling to ever deeper into their passions and fantasies. Now, this is hard to think about because at the same time, the Imperium were in their dark age. The Imperium, humanity was in the dark age of technology and had spread across the entire galaxy relatively uncontended. What this means is that the Imperium, not the Imperium, humanity and the Eldar coincided at their peaks uncontended, without threat. Which means they either were friendly with one another or were just completely unconcerned with one another. It's entirely possible that the Aeldari didn't really do much in the real world and were almost completely existed within the webway. Separated from the humans. And the humans left them in their webway, unconcerned about the webway and the Eldar. Which would make sense. The Eldar with just their pleasure-seeking, wouldn't really want another war in heaven with this new upstart human race. The humans wouldn't necessarily want a war with this technologically advanced alien race. And as far as we're aware, the Dark Age of technology humans weren't necessarily a united empire of humanity. It was more like humanity today. As far as we're aware, we don't know a lot about them. But it's entirely possible that humanity in the Dark Age of technology were like, what would happen if we went into space? It's very likely if we went into space, you'd have different countries and corporations and stuff sending spaceships into space, setting up colonies, and new companies would come about, and new countries and new corporations and new colonies would come about, and they would then create more colonies, which would then create more colonies, which would then make more colonies, which would propagate further and further and further, never establishing a single empire, but instead just establishing humanity amongst the stars. Ever spreading, maybe with a sort of, United Nations, but little more than that. So potentially, but I don't know. We don't really know much about Dark Age of technology humans, other than some of the technologies they had. And even then, we don't really know much about it. We can only guess. So it's interesting because we know that humanity's downfall coincided with the birth of Slaanesh. So that means humanity's downfall in the Dark Age of technology coincided with the fall of the Eldar. Which means that both of their peaks must have existed at the same time. So it's just very weird. But unbeknownst to them, the dark energy of their decadence, of a corruption gathered in the warp, eventually gaining its own consciousness and becoming a new chaos god, Slaanesh. Slaanesh's violent birth unleashed a storm of potent psychic energy, fatally rendering the souls of billions of Aeldari and other sentient beings and reducing the once proud Aeldari Empire to a broken husk of its former glory. Ooh, look! It's what's her name? It's Gulliman's girlfriend! Where's the cat? Her cat's not there. She's got a little fan through. Look, it's you guys. It's her fans. The Ynnari are a mysterious cult to bring hope of a renewal of the Aeldari. Since the birth of Slaanesh, the few remaining Aeldari are members of a slowly dying species, never again to reclaim the glory of their former empire. They are fractioned into small factions, the cult's focus on survival, holding a little trust in their fellow Aeldari, and even less trust in anyone else. Much of their effort is focused on ensuring they never again contribute psychic energy to Slaanesh, and their lives are lived by following strict paths of discipline and learning. They also greatly fear their souls travelling into the warp after death, there to be devoured by Slaanesh and the souls of the dying. And the souls of dying Aeldari are captured and held, save in spirit stones. If only we could be that close. No, I will not stop being down bad as her fans. No, you can't. Yeah. Why are you down bad for an Aeldari? Look, you do realise that her hips aren't that wide. It's just a dress to make her look that wide. Look, her legs are tiny and thin. That means her hips can't possibly be that wide, meaning it must just be a dress. They do have pretty armour. Pretty Eldar armour. Weak Eldar armour. 5+ saves. Pitiful. Elf waifus though. Elf waifu. You're not allowed elf waifus. You got Sisters of Battle at home. You're Thrain and Gullifam. No, they didn't. Lies. Lies. Slash demons do battle. Sorry, I'm having to turn the little light on because it's a bit dark down here. Slaaneshi demons do battle amid a rolling sea of potent psychic energy. Slaanesh is a chaos god of decadence, hedonism, and excess. It inspires prime lust and self-interest in its followers and feeds the psychic energy that is produced, not just by luxuriance and indulgence and violent gratification, but by any sensation taken to excess. Pain, fear, and envy fuel Slaanesh as much as greed, gluttony, and pride. Slaanesh's appetite can be never sated, and it is known by Aeldari simply as she who thirsts. For even to this day, they refuse to speak its real name. The webway. Oh, look at the webway! Webway! Iris is here. Hello. I'm a cat. No. Especially the fishy arc, I think. The red friend. Oh, is that the fishy arc? The red friend there. He looks so fine. 10 out of 10. Would polish his armour. You'd polish his armour, would you? I got a tongue as a cat. You're good. You're good. Yay. I am bad at slots. I don't think there's any being bad or good at slots, by the way. You gotta go eat Chinese. Don't eat for Chinese. What did they do to you? You have 205 sprinkles. But at least you can't do that again for a while. You can't turn me into a cat again. Hope it was worth it. Oh goodness, it's so dark. The webway is built on an ancient technology that is still in use today. It is accessed most frequently by the Aeldari, who use it to travel across the galaxy, but is far from a safe haven, and many others can enter it too. If one thing leads to another, I would say no. I would like the helmet to be on. Saradin actually lost. He bet 5,000 and gained 2,500. That means overall he lost 2,500. You wouldn't say no. Oh, you Erland, you won 1,000 of the slots. Nice. You're quite heated. Why are you heated? Why are you heated? Aeldari craft roads move only at sublight speed, not nearly fast enough to cover the smallest fraction of space, even over a period of thousands of years. Aeldari need travel at greater distances, therefore rely on the webway. This webway connected all parts of the ancient Aeldari Empire, and many other places beside it. A mysterious tangle of labyrinthian pathways. Now there are still connections between the craft roads and many other places, although they came to master its secrets, but Aeldari did not build their webway. It was constructed through the fabric of the warp by an ancient and highly advanced species known as the Old Ones many millions of years ago. Today, many of the pathways have fallen into disrepair and lead to places of peril, places overrun by forces of chaos or simply to dead ends. Many of its paths have been sealed by the Aeldari, desperate to keep the powers of chaos and other primordial warp entities from infiltrating the pathways that lead to their home. Ooh! Oh, Black Templar! And another Black Templar! Look at him holding his bolt pistol, gangster style. Gangster style bolt, and an Inquisitor. And we got a Witch Hunter hat. That's a Black Templar backpack, another Black Templar. That's a big Black Templar backpack. And look at him, he's bold with bright red eyes. And look, a Black Templar Rhino. Oh, if he's a firstborn Marines, you can tell Screaming Skull helmet. And look at very tiny Templar cross. What the hell is that? Is that a tech priest? There's a tech priest back there. And look, there's a flying person. There's a saint. Or something. And banners and banners and banners. Oh no, that's another saint. And banners and banners and banners and what the hell is that? Dead things. It's very cool. I'm broke and angry, oh no. Possibly no AC. Or living in Cali. Thinking of calling for gods. Celestine. Celestine! A labyrinthian realm. For Aeldari are the foremost masters of the webway. These are not Aeldari down here. Why are you talking about Aeldari? Ah, hello, I'm back. But it's by no means their exclusive domain. Many other species have access Many other species are able to access at least some of the webway with greater or lesser success. The Drukhari, who are corrupted descendants of the ancient Aeldari themselves, can not only navigate the webway, but have even managed to establish cities within its borders, such as the port city of Kamarath, where basically trillions of Dark Eldar live. Inquisitor Greyfax leads a rear guard of Black Templars towards the webway gate. Oh, that's why they're here, because that's a webway gate. Okay, makes sense. A desperate escape. The webway has played an important role in many important battles across the ages. During the 13th Black Crusade of Abaddon the Despoiler, many battles were fought by the Imperium against Abaddon and his Black Legion, but few fought as fiercely and famously as Saint Celestine and her retinue. After a heroic rearguard action, the Living Saint, along with Inquisitor Greyfax and an escort of Space Marines of a Black Templar chapter, made a narrow escape through an ancient webway gate. What do you mean an escape? What do you mean an escape? Black Templar don't run. They run forward to action. Drukai elves. Eldar. Oh, gods of chaos, hate and malice, heed my call. Serland, I usually agree with you, but no. I run from Sigmar. Never. Also, that's a Dark Eldar right there. I'm pretty sure. A Fard world defended by mighty armies of its own creation. Oh, goodness, look at that big old thing. What's that? Is that a knight? That's a knight. Oh, look at it. Look at it. Look at this big old crotch banner. Oh, what type of knight do you think it... Oh, is that a Crusader knight? Is that the same I've got? Looks a bit like a Crusader because it's got 2 guns. That's like the knight I've got. Oh, look at that big old thing. Look at that big old tech priest skull thing. Look at those tech priests and the Skitarii. Oh, I love the Mechanicum stuff so much. I really want to make a Mechanicum model, but I just don't like a lot of the vehicles that they have in 40k. That's not a Titan, that's a knight. Maybe it's a... No, that's a knight. It looks... No, maybe it is a Titan. No, that looks more like a knight, though. The design looks too much like an... It doesn't... Because it doesn't have any shoulder cannons, does it? Does it have shoulder weapons? I know it looks big enough to be a Titan. Like, it's definitely big enough to be a Titan, but it doesn't look... But its shape looks too much like a knight. Maybe it is a warlord. Yeah, maybe it is just a warlord, but why has it got the banner hanging down like a knight banner, though? And where... does it have shoulder cannons there? Is it just hidden by the words? And I can't see them properly? Maybe it does have shoulder cannons. It's also got the shields there, which look more like knights than stuff. I'm gonna have to look now. I'm gonna have to look at a Warlord Titan. Going to the Games Workshop website. Warlord Titan. Horus Heresy. Loyalist. No. Forces of Occult Mechanicum, Titan Legions. No, okay, yeah, it's a Warlord Titan. Yeah, definitely a Warlord Titan. I'm an idiot. I'm an idiot. We've been to the website many times today, Titland. Don't worry about it. Yeah, definitely a Warlord Titan. I checked the website. They do have the 2 shields there. And they do have a banner on the official model. I'm an idiot. And it does have those little things there. And as the suit, there are 2 cannons there, probably. I just can't see them. Aww. Okay, Conjuror, I asked for gods and they didn't answer, but your lack of knowledge makes me want to start a heresy.
Stop being mean to yourself. We say silly here.
Okay, I'm a big old silly pants made from stupid, made from silly, made from super silly. I don't deserve cola anymore. I'm gonna get myself some water as punishment. BRB. What is Talan doing? I go away for like 30 seconds. And Talan is here. Look, 5 away. I found some cake friends. I found some cola bottle flavoured cake friends. 10 cake friends are here. 10 cakes. That's not what, that's cola flavoured cake friends. Some nice old cake friends. Yeah, Java cola flavoured cake friends. Also, good job Scorpio winning 500 because Talan's a cheapskate. I would never eat them. I would never eat cake friends. Also, I got some water. I made for Steam. Oh, I love Steam. Steam sales. And choking smog. And the cacophony of industry rings out over wasted services of the galaxy's forge worlds. Yum, 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 yum. Better not hear any munching. There'll be no munching here. Fats, can you donate them? No, I can't donate cake friends to people. No. No. I can only rescue cake friends of the shops. Oh, hi, Bats. Hi. Hello. Forge worlds are entire planets that are given over to producing weapons. Oh, big old sword. Big old sword. Given over to producing weapons and equipment.
Chaos shall rise. Eat the cake. Let the heresy flow.
Punch, 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 punch. Punch, 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 punch. Punch, 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 punch. Punch, 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 punch. Punch, punch. That's what you get for eating cake. Hello. How you all doing? No explosions! Each forge world is controlled by the Adeptus Mechanicus. Wait, forge worlds are entire planets that are given over to producing the weapons and equipment that the Imperium uses to fight its many wars. And potentially other industrial equipment that's needed. And just, you know, other things like pens, pencils. And, you know, nuts, bolts, desks, mirrors. That looks sad, seeing everyone's stuff left behind. It was so sad. She punches so much to explode, like in Fists of a North Star. Oh gosh. Each forge world is controlled by Adeptus Mechanicus in order of fanatical. An order of fanatical devotees who worship the machine god of Mars. Under the watchful eyes of Mechanicus, tech priests, the denizens of the forge worlds toil amid the industrial hellscape, working even harder to satisfy the Imperium's endless appetite for weaponry. Forge World Riser! Riser! Have you ever watched Star Trek? Riser's not a forge world. It's like a... It's one of those worlds that... It's a tropical holiday world. It's a pleasure planet. Riser's a pleasure planet in Star Trek. It's where people go to get pleasure. If Star Trek was in 40k, that's where Slanesh would be born. Yeah, Next Generations. Riser is an ancient forge world that made its name supplying the Imperium with plasma weapons and containment fields. It also produced the Lehman Russ Executioner and Stormblade pattern tanks. Specialized variants of existing designs for many years now. The world has been consumed by war as its veteran Skitarii troops face off against waves of orc attacks. Forge World Lucius. Look at him, barely able to hold his radium rifle. Forge World Lucius is a hollow world whose core has been replaced by an artificial sun. The blasting energy that is emitted is used to power a vast industrial spore that is laid out on the inside of the planet. Lucius is particularly known for a unique alloy, Lucian, but it can only be made because of a bountiful energy supply. A tech priest watches over operations of a mechanicum, manufactorium. Ah, look at those little boxy places. Oh, bonds of honor! Another one of these things. Okay, last time we were here, this guy's been talking about. Okay, this guy, he's been leading a group of initiates, neophytes, to the Silver Templars through the monastery, up a mountain and through a monastery. He's been telling them a story about these space marines who the sergeant lost his bolt gun, his prized rifle, because the Silver Templars, they like make their own rifles, handcraft them, and they become like very special weapons. And they name the weapons and stuff, and they become very special to the Templars that carry them. But he lost it en route to a zone. It fell off like the Stormhawk or whatever for riding in. He then fought a Tyranid Warrior Prime and killed it in battle with his bolt pistol. The squad then went into a tunnel where they fought off hordes of Gaunts and Rippers and stuff. Came out and they were supported by Infernus squad who burnt away all the bugs inside. And now they are about to do something else. I think he's going off to find the bolt gun. So well then, my boys, take a good look around at your new home. But mind, I can't walk any slower than I already am while you dawdle and gawp. Stick close by me. You may be through the gates safely, but what do you think would happen if you outsiders were found wandering around without an escort? Our guards do not just watch the wall, but every inch of the citadel within. Do not fear too much. I would not let you go to waste. Nikandor, I think you have the markings of fine servo skull. And Acarius, you have delicate hands. You might find most of your body transformed into a Medicae servitor. Watching over your friends here as they are transformed into space marines, I bet none of you have ever seen a servitor. I see a lot of blank faces, but none with the courage to say that they don't know. Believe me when I say that you will not survive your training like that. There's a time to be resolute and independent, but there's a time to ask for and give aid. I'd call Mount Gun Cutie Pie, so it would be deadly. Oh wait, you'd call your gun, not Mount Gun, your gun Cutie Pie, so it would be deadly. Cute Pie. I'd call my gun Shooty McShooty Face. Cassandra! Call the gun Cassandra! So to answer the question that none of you are bold enough to ask, I think this guy just likes to hear his own voice. Maybe that's why they gave him the neophytes, because it's like, this guy talks too much. Just give him to the neophytes. They have force to listen to him. Like a pit bull, if it's called something cute, it's unstable. Maybe, but do you want your gun to be unstable, though? So to answer the question that none of you are bold enough to ask, some might say that a servitor is a machine that thinks. Sounds like heretical talk, does it not? Well, I suppose it would be closer to the truth to say a servitor is a thing that thinks, and is almost a machine. You see, all of our thinking is processed by living neural tissue, not by the machine itself. And where does that tissue come from? Break too many of our rules and you may just find out. Now, I mustn't get sidetracked. I'm determined to finish telling you about Sergeant Ascatron. Yeah, it was Sergeant Ascatron, which none of them asked about before too long. Remember how he drove the Tyranids out of those hellish tunnels and into the flames of the Infernus Marines? Well, you couldn't have a better example of a great brother calling for aid and winning all the mightier victory because of it. Remember that next time you need to learn something, lest you cling to your ignorance or your weakness out of pride and shame, placing your own discomfort above the need to serve your brothers and the chapter. Do you think yourself better than the sergeant? No, I don't think so. Hi, Nick the Salamander. Hello. Ba 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 ba. Ba 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 ba. But Sergeant Askerton was not without pride and honour. He just had the discipline to wait for victory in more important matters before he gave his attentions to more personal duties. As soon as a victory against the Tyranids had been won, he set out with his squad. What he hoped would be a brief venture to find his lost rifle. Alas, he and his squad scoured the area under the flight path of a transport ship, which it had fallen. But what they found was worse than they had feared. The area had been picked clean by scavengers, no doubt by some band of rust merchants or scrap dealers. You know, I really like the idea of the Silver Templars, having such a bond to their weapons. Kind of makes me want to have some. I do something with my Templars. Like repaint the weapon, or paint the weapons and redesign them to each have a personality. I hear you meant to a flamer. So have arrived. I heard you mention flamers, so have arrived. Yay! We got flamers. Well, we just mentioned flamers. The previous story had more mention of flamers, though. Although previous story was last time we read these magazines. Oh. Every trace of useful material had been stripped from the rubble, every last scrap of metal gone. Only dust and gore remained. What were the chances that the scrappers had somehow misjudgment the rifle, and it lay waiting? And it lay waiting patiently to be proclaimed? Slim to none. But Askerton could not take the chance, and he and his squad searched for days throughout West until at last they concluded that the worst had happened. The rifle was gone. Reliquaries! I remember these from Stellaris. If we don't know, in Stellaris, there's a gamba mechanic in it where you can buy reliquaries and they might have some really, really cool item in it, but you can only buy one every so often, and there's only so many that you can buy in the game. And sometimes there might be nothing in it, or something that's really not worth having bought it. The Space Marines have a history of millennia behind them. Even newly founded chapters such as the Silver Templars have a lineage stretching back through their parent chapter. Over the many years, the Space Marines have all amassed a huge store of relics such as the bones or armor fragments of great warriors. These are stored in reliquaries for protection. The largest of these may be the size of an entire building, but smallest can be taken into battle so that the chapter can receive a blessing of its forebearers as it fights. Yeah, the Black Templar often carry little reliquaries around with them with bones on them. Does this guy have any? Black Templars often have them just like these little boxes hanging off them. And you can sometimes see the bones. But yeah, the sergeant was not one for displays of feeling. Even thrill of battle or the stab of insults lay cold upon him. He was cunning and calculating, more dangerous than any petulant tyrant or any undisciplined berserker. But with a realization that his rifle had been taken, he snatched up a weapon from one of the brothers, and with a cry of anger he emptied it into the ground nearby. The acrid smell of propellant issued from the rifle, and the thundering boom of each shot echoed for miles. around until at last he was silent, save for a momentary trickling sound of a spent casing falling to the floor. Not one of the brothers dared to mention the outburst, and they all waited quietly for his decision. We all knew that an oath had been sworn, and now the hunt must be joined. But the quest was like a search for a star in the sky, where to begin and where to go next. Look at that dude. Look at him with a big old skull eagle on his chest. The squad takes off from the surface of a planet aboard a transport craft. Look at him, he's got a power sword, holding onto the thing, shouting out, being like, "Where's my judgment?" Very cool. We all knew that an oath had been blah, 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 blah. If nothing else, there was at least the certainty that such a rifle would not be melted down, nor would it be forgotten and left to corrode in the junk piles of some scrapper on a backwards world. No, even the most unenlightened world would recognize it as an object of exceptional worth. No doubt worth more than the entire planet on which it was hidden. But that also meant it would move fast. No scrapper would dare sit on such an item for long. But how could such a creature hope to defend themselves against a weapon's true master? The question was, could Askerton and his brother find it before it travelled too far and become lost in a network of smugglers, traders and thieves? Time was of the essence. Hello, Night Parade! How you doing? Now, this is one thing I do miss from 10th. Back when I used to play, before 10th and stuff, what you could do is sergeants could take, I believe, up to 25 points of equipment from the armory. And I believe lieutenants could take 50 points, or was it 100? And captains could take 100 points, or was it 200? It was something like that. It might have only been 15 points for a sergeant. Doing okay, long day at work today. Oh no! Well, I hope it was still fun. I hope you still had fun today. And now you got time to rest and get some good food in you. Well, back what you could do then is that it allowed you to create more of a story with this sergeant, for instance. Like this guy, you've got this entire idea that if this rifle is worth a lot of money, it's worth a lot of wealth, right? And back then you could believe it, because it's like you could go, okay, I'm going to spend my 15 or 25 points or whatever on a mastercrafted rifle. I'm going to spend these points on this. I'm going to give it an upgrade that gives it +1 strength, and this thing that gives it reroll to hit or whatever. Something like that, I don't know. Or you're going to give an upgrade, I don't know, spend points giving him those upgrades. And my internet's died. Back. Internet fell for like a second. I don't know what happened. Internet fell for like a second. Oh, way back. Well, yeah, what was I saying? Well, yeah, you could at least create this thing, these stories of a sergeant having this really good weapon. This really good rifle or something. I mean, now you can still equip a sergeant with a good weapon, but it has to be a power sword, it has to be a power fist, it has to be a thunder hammer, it has to be a plasma pistol, it has to be one of those weapons. The only exception is if you've got Sternguard, you can choose to give him a combi rifle, which kind of sucks. And you don't really want to do that because it sucks. Shout out to Lamosh doing for internet cables again. All the way from Austria. How does he do that? Why did I route my internet through Austria? Askerton and his brothers find it. Okay, anyway. The question was, could Askerton and his brothers find it before it travelled too far and became lost in a network of smugglers, traders and thieves? You're really good at chewing cables, you wouldn't believe it. Time was of the essence. Once again, his inscrutable self, the sergeant named those who would take particular positions in the search. First, he chose Heraclion, naming him his lieutenant and command of a squad. Such the Sergeant Perish. Or lieutenant, not lieutenant, lieutenant. Heraclion stepped forward, honoured to be chosen, and her brother acknowledged him as Askerton's second. Next, Askerton chose Dolian, naming him Sergeant's eyes and ears, both within the squad and without. Dolian had served many years as a scout, remaining indispensable in the 10th Company long after he was eligible to transfer to one of the more senior units. Finally, Askerton chose Mechatras to stand by his side, for he knew that the fire of shame still burned hot within him, and the sergeant wished to offer the young warrior a chance to free himself from its sting. Mechatras saw the kindness of the sergeant in his offer and accepted the position with pride and gratitude, determined to prove himself worthy of the honour. Then, with one last wistful look behind him, at the ground with his rifle. Then, with one last wistful look behind him at the ground that his rifle had laid on just recently, the sergeant strode off, leading his brothers forward. As he foxed a gruff request for transport, the planet was the last the brothers would see off the Tyranids for quite some time. They knew, of course, they would be many hardships ahead, and they steeled themselves for what was to come. But my boys, let me tell you this now. Though they foresaw a perilous journey ahead of them, in truth, they didn't know for half of it. Howdy, Cupcake. Hello, Nathan. How you doing? Guardian Defenders. Rah! Aeldari are dwindling species in times of war. In times of war, those Aeldari who normally undertake civic or artistic work are called in for defense of the craft world. When mobilized and equipped with Aeldari weapons and armor, these Guardian Defenders are equal to of any professional unit in the galaxy. Yep, okay. Oh, and now we've got an actual thing of Aeldari for these termagants. And it's, once again, a thing where it's got a single squad of Aeldari versus infinitely spawning termagants for multiple turns. Next magazine! I'm doing okay, by the way. I hope you're doing well too. Okay, what's the next magazine got for us? Another, surprisingly, we got a second shade brush. It's another medium one, which we already had the same medium one. And no, my beloved. Also, we actually brought it out yesterday for Camber Crimson. Pretty cool. This is how it looked yesterday when we used it on our Tyranid. On the skull. I didn't like how it looked in the end. I preferred how it looked without it. I think it looks okay. I just choose to like it without it. This guy still needs finishing. I think about putting some blue highlights here. Need to finish off some yellow. Paint this base area. Well, in fact, I think it's close to finish. I don't think I liked in the end. I shouldn't have put Agrax Earthshade here. Maybe I should have gone with some very watered down Nuln oil. And I think I want to put some highlights on its teeth to make them stand out from its skin a bit more. Yeah. For lighting. Yeah, sorry. I can turn the lights back on here. It's just because otherwise, when I've got all the lights on, flashbangs happen. It's just, you know, what happens with all this. I can turn this off now. Yeah. I don't like how it ended up looking fair. It looks a bit too... It just looks too dirty on its tentacles. I don't like how the agrix of shade looked out. It wasn't a complaint, it was a joke. Read the whole... I did read the whole comment. You wrote 2 comments, and the second one didn't come in until I had responded. I do like how that looks fair, though. That looks kind of nice to me. That blue here. So I got these little buttons of a light. Yeah. I actually moved where all my brushes are. But anyway, I'm going to be turning this light off to avoid more flashbangs. Because you know what these are like. As soon as I switch to these pages, you get flashbanged. But yeah, Nuln oil, and that's actually not a bad price. A Nuln oil, Cario Crimson, and a brush. Because these shade brushes are not bad, I've actually found. I quite enjoyed using them. And to get this nice little thing. Actually, for a $9.99 magazine, it's not great, but I didn't pay $9.99 for it. I paid under that because I got it as a subscription. Oh, goodness. I just flicked through this. Look at that cool model. Look at that cool model. Look at that cool model. Look at that mare model. $9.98. No, it's $9.99. It's $21.99 if you're os. Or it's $21.99 if you're nuts. Oh my goodness, for 6 Wind Riders you need 3 other magazines. Oh goodness. Well, how much do you pay? $9.90? No. Because I've got mine on a subscription thing. I pay a subscription price. And I can't remember how much that is. But I think it's like... How much is it? It's... I think it's like every couple of weeks. I can't remember. I think it adds up to like $7.99 for the price I ended up paying for it per week. Shading. Oh, look how this shading looks. Nuln oil. Skill in a bottle. Oh, that's how they use the Carrienberg Crimson. They just put it on for white areas. And it turns them pink. That looks cool, actually. That's actually really cool. Should experiment with it. Ooh. Taste test when. Just give me a moment. Tastes like cola. That's actually because I just took a sip of cola. Look, it's a Wraith Knight. It's a Wraith Knight. I want one of them. I want one of them. I want 6. I want 12. I want 18 of these Wraith Knight. Look at that beautiful beauty. Look at that beauty. Samhain. Samhain is an ancient craft world that is populated by some of the fiercest nerds of the galaxy. Their bravery is legendary, and they are an honourable people, but their warlike tendencies have often led them into conflicts that might have best been avoided, and even into conflicts with other Aeldari craft worlds. Even with other dairy craft worlds! Oh no! Oh, look at the swooping hawks! We love swooping hawks. Oops. According to legend, Samhain was one of the first craft worlds to separate from the Aeldari Empire, has been trained many times, and it has retained many time-honoured customs from the time before the fall. They take a great deal of pride in their ancient traditions. What did I just read? Oh no, my head just went dizzy. My head just went dizzy. I'm sorry. I'm going to take a sip of cola. Oh goodness. Oh goodness. Sorry, I think my blood sugars went a bit low. Oh. They take a great pride in their ancient traditions and they value honour above all else. One of their many customs is to have their younger warriors race against the elders, to win the right to ride a jet bike. They also prefer to settle matters quickly through the use of ritual dueling, rather than protracted debate and decision making used by other craft worlds. Wait a minute, if they do racing and the reward is to ride a jet bike, what do they use to race with? Like, do they do pod racing? Do they race on wheeled bikes? Do Eldar know how to make wheeled bikes? Do they race on foot? Is that bad to make a young person race against an older person? Isn't the older person guaranteed to lose? What is this? From these and similar customs, they have perhaps gained a reputation for recklessness or even barbarousness, but they are known by many as the Wild Host. However, this name might have a more literal origin, since their love of speed is well known, and Samhain warriors have become legendary for their vehicle-borne rapid assaults and ferocious fighting of the battlefield. Their attacks are moulded on their movements of serpentine swift deployment is followed by a rapid acceleration and devastating lethal blow. Ooh! Idea! Idea! What if... Oh! Wraiths! Do you know Wraith Lords? But bikes. Like fast Wraith Lords. Because, like, imagine you got the Samhains. Imagine you had, like, the Samhain guys. And they're, like, really, like, going fast. But Wraith Lords and Wraith Guard and stuff are super slow. But then it's like... But they'd want to be really fast because, obviously, the Samhain. So they're, like, going really fast. So what if... they designed Wraith Lords that move really fast. So they're like jet bike Wraith Lords. I want jet bike Wraith Lords. Oh no, Wraith Lords with jetpacks. Oh, Wraith Guards with jetpacks. I want Wraith Guard with jetpacks. World Rune. The Samhain means quest for enlightenment in the Aeldari language. The same word is used for snake and for hidden knowledge, and so the world rune of a Samhain craft world takes the form of a cosmic serpent. Ooh, nice. Ancient culture. The Samhain. Oh, is this entirely just like about the Samhain? Nice. The Samhain is steeped in traditions that can be traced back to before the fall of Aeldari. All of us, oh goodness, sorry, that's, there we go. Before all of the Samhain, Asayani are fiercely proud of their identity Northern warriors of Craftworld have a tattoo of a cosmic serpent Samhain symbols somewhere on their bodies. Ew. If they have to get a tattoo, what happens if they don't like tattoos? A common rite of passage for a young Samhain warrior is catching a striking dagger snake with their bare hands, demonstrating sharp physical skills as well as considerable bravery. Where do they get the dagger snakes? Do they have like forests on the craft worlds that are filled with dagger snakes? Is that safe? Do they like take them to worlds that are just a filled with dagger snakes? What if the Imperium found a world that is just filled with dagger snakes and then kills all the dagger snakes? I'm asking too many questions, aren't I? Oh gosh, even the organization follows an ancient convention. Rather than centrally controlled armies, Samhain forces are divided into independent groups called Wild Rider clans. Honestly, the more I read about them, the kind of less I like about them. When there's no other way, the perilous path is the only road to salvation. A strike force of the Wild Riders jet over the frigid wasteland towards the enemy. Wild Rider clans. I got 2 bottles of Nuln oil right next to one another here. Look at it. Look at it. Nuln oil twins. In the Samhain society, so they couldn't understand dwarf feeling towards elves. No, not towards elves, just these. That's a really cool drawing of an warlock, by the way. Look at that. Look at that. That's so cool. It reminds me of Victor from Arcane towards it. Not Victor. The other person towards... You know who I mean. Towards the end of Arcane. No spoilers. In Samhain society, almost every Aeldari belongs to a Wild Rider clan. The clans are led by Wild Rider chieftains who were advised by a group called Kinsmen. The Kinsmen are formed from chieftains, most trusted warriors and their close family. Blood ties are important to the Aeldari, and at all levels in the Wild Rider clans, brothers and sisters serve together, fighting alongside each other and protecting their own. Now, the reason I don't like the Samhain from reading this is that the Samhain feel nomadic. Not nomadic, they feel tribal. They don't feel like Eldar to me. Like, I don't know. These guys feel more like, you know, the White Scars of, you know, for Space Marines and stuff. If normal Eldar are kind of inspired by the Greeks, the ancient Greeks, then these guys seem more inspired by the Mongols. And that just doesn't feel very Eldar to me. I mean, it's kind of cool because they're different and it's different cultures and stuff, but that separates them from the Eldar that I like. Oh, do you know the Craft World Eldar? It's kind of okay. It's just, I'd rather go with, you know, different types of Eldar than the Samhain. The Aeldari Pantheon. Look, the fighting Slaneshi people. Those are Harlequins. That's a Harlequin there. And so is that one there doing a flip or whatever. There we go. Oh, they seem very happy. I wonder if they are smiling that much under the mask though. Oh look, there's a jet bike. Oh, it's so cool. Oh, I love the way that this is drawn. You got all the speed lines and stuff everywhere, but the way everything's drawn is... You've got a point here, right? This point here. And then everything is drawn pushing to that point. Except this dude. But even then, they kind of are, like, their fingers are kind of pushing towards there and doing, like, this horns. Well, not quite towards there, it's forming a shape that moves towards it. The entire drawing is forming this kind of shape where everything moves from there, and it gives this effect of speed and coming away, and it's just a very nice drawing. It's very dynamic, very cool. You got all the Eldar, all the Slaaneshi stuff here, all the Eldar running in from this direction, all the... Oh, you just got all the different shapes and stuff, like this person's running and flipping here, that person's flipping there. You got the jet bike up there, you got the jet bike there, you got this jet bike there, you got that jet bike there, you got this... all this Slaaneshi stuff there. Oh! I've only got all these stalagmites or tights or whatever. Like, ooh, that's probably a webway portal, isn't it? I'm not thinking of the correct words. It all arcs together. I like it. That's a very nice drawing. Or whatever. Need to press this button again so it focuses. In ancient times, the Aeldari worshipped a whole pantheon of gods. At the head of the pantheon was Asoyan, the phoenix king of the oldest of the gods. Beneath him stood his brothers Cain and many of the other gods besides. The Aeldari themselves are said to be descended from Isha, the goddess of the harvest, and Kurnos, the god of the hunt, who had the first Aeldari child, Eldanesh. On seeing her child alone, Isha wept, and from these tears the forests and the oceans of the Aeldari homeworld were formed. The rest of the pantheon wished to give the child gifts also, and so Asoyan himself gave the child and his descendants wisdom and self-knowledge. However, the Wanderer gave the Eldar a sense of adventure. Morai Heg, the mistress of fate, gave them foresight. The child's father, Konos, gave them desire, and many other gifts were given besides. Only Cain gave the Aeldari nothing, wishing to teach them that they were owed nothing and must take for themselves what they needed to survive. The pantheon was disrupted during the fall by the birth of Slaanesh, who hunted and consumed the gods of the old pantheon by taking their power for itself. You know, none of that's true though, because the Aeldari were created by the Old Ones, unless the Old Ones never actually created them, and instead stole them from the old gods. Oh. Those who remain. Oh look, it's some sort of space marine fighting some, or being killed by an avatar of Cain. After the fall, only two of the original pantheons survived, Cain, the bloody-handed god, and Kegolak, the laughing god. Cain went into battle against the new god Slaanesh. Slaanesh struck Cain down and smote him into fragments, vanquishing but not totally destroying these fragments of Cain. Vanquished but not totally destroyed, these fragments of Cain live on still at the hearts of his many avatars, a bit like the katana of the Necrons. While Cain fought against Slaanesh, Kegolak made his escape into the webway and hid deep inside its secret roots and labyrinthian tunnels. There he bides his time, plotting his revenge against the Chaos Gods that have wronged him and his people. However, rumour has it that he leaves his sanctuary from time to time to walk disguised amongst his followers, the Harlequins. As time went on, the idea of Ynid, god of the dead, began to form. This nascent deity yet to manifest is worshipped by some Aeldari who believe that the power of all the souls of the dead Aeldari, Ynid will one day rise to overthrow Slaanesh. Ooh. Ooh. Ooh, Tyranid faction ability. That's more of a weakness than anything. Phoenix Lords. The Phoenix Lords were ancient exarchs who each founded an aspect shrine. The different shrines are focused on one of the separate aspects of the warrior god Cain. As a founder and leader of a shrine, the Phoenix Lord becomes a living embodiment of this aspect of their god. The Yakani. The Yakani is embodiment of Yeet. Although it contains only a fraction of the power of a god, much of the time the Yakane waits between dimensions, called forth by the energies of death that are released during times of war. When ready to manifest, the Yakane rips a hole in reality, emerging in a cloud of ectoplasm. That is so cool. I love it. Having the Avatar of Cain, that is a cool model. That's way better than what the metal model. I think Avatar of Cain did have a cool resin model, like a massive resin model. That was really nice. But that is still a nice plastic model. Every craftwood holds an Avatar of Cain, the bloody-handed god. Upon a great throne, his iron form sits immobile, waiting for battle to be joined once more. As war approaches, molten metal begins to flow into his veins, and he rises to fight, wielding a weapon known as a Wailing Doom. His presence on the battlefield intensifies the battle lust of Aeldari just as it terrifies his foes. The Tyranid faction ability, Synapse and Shadow for Warp, allow you to gain specific advantages from the battlefield. Synapse increases your unit's resilience to battle shock while they are near certain creatures. Shadow for Warp is a psychic attack on your enemies that forces them to take battle shock tests. Okay, yeah, most factions have these faction abilities, right? For weak factions, like factions like Guardsmen are usually quite weak. But their faction ability can be incredibly powerful. So, Fat Guardsmen have this ability called Orders. Excuse me, pardon me, sorry I hiccuped. I'll just have a drink because I'm not a fish. No, dodging. Protect me, Cuptle. Protect me. It worked. Ow, 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 I thought there was nothing coming. It was delayed. It was delayed. Cuptle, you protected me from nothing. But yeah, the Guardsmen are usually... Oh, goodness. This, like, you can't even see the Tyranid there anymore. Yeah, Guardsmen are usually relatively weak compared to other factions, like the basic infantry unit. But thanks to orders, you can have a command squad like give a guardsman some orders, and they can become way more dangerous. And a command squad can give multiple orders per turn, and you can have quite a lot of units that can give orders and units that can receive orders, and they can become very powerful. Tyranids generally have really, really low leadership. And their main thing is that while within Synapse range, they don't have low leadership. So if you look here, it says, while a Tyranid unit from your army is within 6 inches of one or more Synapse model, that Tyranid unit is said to be within Synapse range of those models of your army. Each time a Tyranid unit from your army takes a battle shock test, if it is within range of your army, take the test on 3d6 instead of 2d6. So yeah, I say really low leadership. Really high leadership. Really high leadership. Used to be low, but now low numbers are good numbers, high numbers are bad numbers. So yeah, the leaderships are usually really high for most Tyranids. But certain characters like this dude here, like the Tyranid Warrior Prime, are called Synapse models. So they're like the Hive Mind's Will. And then you got the Gaunt that are like mindless models. And they're the ones that basically have no mind of their own. So you have to keep them close to synapse models so that they don't just run off or can't capture objectives anymore. So it's really more of their army ability is more of a downgrade, it feels like at times. Or more of just an attempt to not be a downgrade rather than other factions where it feels like a really powerful ability. But they do have another army ability, and that's called Shadow of the Warp. That feels kind of weak, but at the same time feels kind of accurate. So yeah, Tyranids are directed by a higher intelligence. Average Tyranids don't really have a mind of their own, so it's only through big old brain monsters like the Hive Tyrant. Or the Neurolictor with this big old brain that they can actually function properly. But Shadow of the Warp, as the Tyranid Hive Fleet approaches, it emanates a strong psychic field that overwhelms warp communications and cuts entire worlds off from the immaterium for warp. Nobody knows for certain whether this is an intentional attack or simply a byproduct of a hive mind communicating across the Tyranid force. Either way, it has proved a potent disruptor that affects all psychically attuned species who face a Hive Fleet's massing for an attack. Once per battle in either player's command phase, if one or more units from your army have this ability on the battlefield, you can unleash the Shadow of the Warp. When you do, each enemy unit of a battlefield must take a battle shock test. What that means, a battle shock test means your enemy must take a leadership test, where they roll 2 dice and they must equal or beat or roll higher than their leadership score. So Space Marine, I think, has a leadership of 6, so they need to roll a 6 or higher on 2 dice. If they do so, nothing happens. If they fail to do so, they count as battle shocked. And when they're battle shocked, they can't capture objectives that turn. And they stay battle shocked until the next command phase, if they get to roll again. And if they fail, they stay battle shocked. And if they don't fail, then... Oh yeah, you also can't command them and do other stuff with them. You can't command them and you can't do... Oh, what's it called? There's a special thing. You can't use something called stratagems on them. But other than that, you can just use them as normal. You can move them, tell them to shoot, do stuff like that. But now... we got this it's got a Wraith Lord in it. It's got that guy with a big old sword. Oops. Whacked a microphone. Also, don't forget to like the stream if you've not already. Where did the... oh, there it is. It's got a black... it's got a weird base. I've never seen a black base, I think, which had additional detail on it. And this is from 2006. Yeah, it's got additional detailing on it. It's weird. I've not seen one of these before. Thanks for reminding me. Yeah, thank you. YouTube's been really weird with likes and its war on recently. So I have to be extra minded to people recently. Oh, look at a cool piece of art though. Wait, you can't. Gonna have to turn these lights off again. Look at a cool piece of art. Oh, the Wraith Lord. This is how to build it. We'll build it tomorrow. We'll build these things tomorrow. This is how to paint it. If you want to paint it in the Samhain colours. That's how to paint it if you've got a very steady hand. Spirit stones. Oh, what's this thing? Ulfri. Craftwood preparing to charge her foe. To charge her foe? Why are they charging? Why are they look! I'm sorry, but they're full of fire prisms. They got good. That's a gun line. Why are they about to charge? They shouldn't be trying to charge. What sort of idiots are they? I don't have a steady hand. I shake. Yes, same. Same. There is a trick though. If you don't have much paint on your brush, don't try to paint it like that. Just try to keep your hand away from the model, because that's raised. So you just try to keep your hand away from the model and then just brush it over. So because you don't have much paint of a brush, it should hopefully only catch the raised surface. So you don't have to be too careful about, you know, getting it anywhere else. Oh yeah, I like seeing it when they paint like that. It's like, hey, the first layer is really... Look how messy that first layer is. And then to get it really smooth like that, it just shows that they've had to paint multiple layers. And that's really nice to see. Anyway, Spirit Stones capture and hold the souls of the dead Aeldari. They are essential to the Eldar way of life and death. Each Eldar warrior goes into battle wearing a psychoreactive crystal known as a Waystone. At the moment of the Eldari's death, the Waystone captures their soul as it exits their body, becoming a Spirit Stone. The Spirit Stone is then retrieved from the dead Eldar's body and taken back to a craft world. Oh, similar to how the Space Marines try to retake the gene seed of fallen warriors. There the soul is added to the Infinity Circuit, ever present in the lives and the civilization of the living Asciani. If the souls need to be retrieved from the Infinity Circuit and placed into the Ghost Warrior bodies, they are guided back into the Spirit Stones by Spirit Seers, ready to wage war against the enemies of the Asciani once more. I like how they got so many ways to say Eldar. They got for Aeldari, they got for Asciani, they got for Eldar. Druhakai. The true story of the origins of the Spirit Stones are lost in time, but Aeldari legends tell of the creation of the Spirit Stone from the tears of the goddess of Isha. Fall, the Smith God saw Isha weeping for her lost children. The Aeldari, from Isha's tears, fall forged to the Spirit Stones that allowed her to watch over them. How many times has she cried and something was made from her tears? She really loves to cry. Asciani Storm Guardians face down Seekers of Slaanesh. I'm sorry to say, but those Storm Guardians look like they're about to be slaughtered. Especially with that big old dude right behind them. Yeah, those are like just basic foot soldiers. Those are like elite warriors. It's thinking, no, why are you making me so sad? No, Saradwin. She who thirsts. At the time of the fall of Aeldari, the birth of Slaanesh sent out a great psychic shockwave that slew most of the Aeldari in the galaxy. As their souls escaped, their dying bodies were consumed by Slaanesh, who became intoxicated and came to desire all of the remaining Aeldari souls. Since that day, the Aeldari have taken to safeguard the souls of the dead, keeping them safe from the Infinity Circuit of the Craft World, and the portable Spirit Stones, away from Slaanesh's never-ending hunger. Should a precious Spirit Stone be destroyed, the soul within it will be released into the warp, there to be captured and devoured by Slaanesh, a fate worse than death of Aeldari. Ooh, that's a cool model. That's a cool paint scheme, I feel. Look at that paint scheme. That looks so nice on that thing. Oh, he's got a Yu-Gi-Oh! Jewel. He's got a jewel disc. And that guy's got a jewel for about to play. Oh, he's about to summon Exodia. Do I need to get my Exodia out again? Should I get my Exodia? Why does he have a jewel disc? When did Eldar get jewel disc? Oh, Black Templars! Black Templars. Chimerish Black Templars. Why not? Oh, that's not enough. I don't think that dual disc is big enough. It's only got 4 zones on it. It needs like 5 zones. And then it needs like a graveyard area. Twin soul. Look up. That's a big spirit stone. But twin souls. Rave Knights. It's got these big old red circles on like a YouTube thumbnail. Look at all these red circles. It's a YouTube thumbnail. Just need some arrows on now. 4 zones is enough of a towel. Wraith Knights are controlled by 2 Aeldari souls. One is that of a living pilot inside a suit, and the other is the soul of a dead warrior in a spirit zone. Oh, there's a person inside the suit. I know that the Titan has a guy inside the head, but I never knew the Knights had a person inside it. Oh, I only thought it was a Titan that had a pilot. I thought they were just like bigger versions of a Wraith Knight, of a Wraith Lord. Wait, that's an Aeldari. Yeah, that's Aeldari. Yeah, Ghost Warriors. The Wraith Warriors would be lifeless constructs were it not for the spirit stones of their armor containing Aeldari warrior souls. And protection. Warriors fight bravely in battle, knowing that even if they are slain, their souls are safe from Slaanesh. An Incubi hunting party converges on an Aspect Warrior unit. Yeah, those Aspect Warriors... Actually, no, they've got a Lord. I think their Lord is pretty good. I don't think the Howling Banshees stand much of a chance against Incubi. At least back when I played, a Howling Banshees would not survive against Incubi, especially 6 Incubi... No, is that 6? 5 Incubi armed with glaives against 5 Howling Banshees. Not a chance. The Lord might help, but an Incubi... What looks like some sort of Incubi Lord? Or Archaon might even the odds there. Drukai, close relatives of Aeldari, do not use spirit stones. However, among their ranks is a warrior cult called the Incubi, who make use of spirit stones for their initiation ritual. An aspirant incubus must fight and kill one of the Aeldari aspect warriors and take their spirit stones as a prize. The spirit stone is then shattered into pieces and built into an evil psychic torture device called a Tormentor that the new incubus wears in their chest. Oh, that's such a cool colour scheme though for the Wraith Knight. Beyond the Veil! Why does that look like the title for doing like a 1960s? No, not 1960s. 1950s. You know, sci-fi horror film or something? Where you got, you know, one of those presenters that will go, Beyond the Veil, whoa! Space Marines make a stand against the onslaught of the hellish Chaos forces. To be honest, that guy looks a bit like Chaos himself. Primiterium is a fully fleshed reality of its own. However bizarre it may seem to the inhabitants of real space, there are places where the warp breaks down and merges with the material universe, sometimes allowing passage into the materium or allowing things within it to escape. Although the drives of the warp-capable ships can puncture small rifts into the materium, some areas of space are home to gigantic and permanent tears in reality, where real space and the materium exist uneasily together. Fierce warp storms often surround these areas, impeding the passage of ships almost as much as do the incomprehensible variances in time and space. Not only are these areas naturally dangerous, they are also home to any number of malevolent entities, warp horrors and murderous individuals, Anyone venturing near would have to brave the risks of the hordes, demons, who regularly attack from within the team, or else the soldiers of the traitor legions who issue forth in great hosts to destroy all those who stand in their way. Some of those who find a home in such areas like the Drukai revel in the evil psychic atmosphere. Others are simply drawn to the lost, distant places that few dare venture into, happily risking madness and death to hide their business from prying eyes of those who might interrupt their plans. Ooh. Look at a big old Imperial ship about to ram something. I imagine it's about to ram something. I look at them, I always just think icebreaker ship about to ram through an iceberg. The Eye of Terror is an unpredictable warp rift surrounded by deadly warp storms. It was formed by the fall of Aeldari and the birth of Slaanesh. Within its depths lie the many horrors, including the traitor legions, formerly loyal space marines, who have given themselves to a power of chaos. Time flows differently within the Eye of Terror, and nobody knows when ancient foes might attack from within there once more. The Maelstrom. The Maelstrom is an area of intense warp storm that sits in the Ultramar sectum. Due to the difficulties, the fact Imperial troops have been safely crossing the Maelstrom, it has become a haven for pirates, orcs, followers of chaos, and anyone else desperate enough to brave reality-rending storms to escape the attentions of the Imperium. The Prospering Rift. The Prospering Rift was the state of a war between the Grey Knights and the secretive and mystic chapter of Space Marines and the Thousand Suns, a sorcerer band of Chaos Space Marines. Grey Knights were taken prisoner inside the rift, and their tortured voices leached out into real space, igniting the conflict. Ooh. What do humans know of our pain? We have sung songs of lament since before your ancestors crawled on their bellies on the sea. That was like so many billions of years ago. I don't think that's true. I think you're lying to me. The galaxy wasn't that old. Wraithlords are huge constructs of wraithbone, bristling with cannons and giant blades. They were grown from bone! Between wars, they stand silent, lifeless and immobile. When needed on the front line, the soul of a dead Aeldari warrior is coaxed into a spirit stone and mounted into wraithbone to animate the Wraithlord in battle. When they say coax, I just imagine that there's like... It's like, do you know a cat? When you want to like get a cat from out from under a bed or something, so you get like a line of treats, and it's like, come here, get a cat, and you got a line of treats and a little stick with some string on, and you're trying to get the cat to come out, and you just have it like leading it all the way up to the stone. I just got like this little Eldar soul just like nibbling up the treats and chasing the string all the way until he gets trapped in the stone. It's like, ah! And it's like, darn it, fell for it again. Wraithlord versus Termagants, Leapers, and a Tyranid warrior. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness, it's surrounded. Oh my goodness, it's not surrounded anymore. It killed all those from Ryan Leapers. Oh my goodness, it won. Combat Patrol is just a... Yeah, I want one of them. That's so cool. Oh, yeek. So there we go. We've read the magazine. Ah, my knee hurts. Oh, my knees. My knees, I'm getting old. No, it's because I've been doing exercise. It turns out I was doing my squats wrong for ages. Ugh. Now my knees hurt. Do you think a Farseer could defeat a Hive Tyrant in close quarter combat? I'm not so sure. Like, I think that size difference is a bit too much. I enjoyed story time with Cupcon. Thank you. I enjoyed it too. But do you think these two could win? Do you think this would be a fair fight? Emperor's Champion versus... Yeah, I think an Emperor's Champion looks like he could beat a Hive Tyrant in battle. Like, look at him holding that sword like, I could take you. He's even got tactical rocks there. Look at him. Look at him. I mean, for that sort, but he's got a banner as well. He's got some bones on it. Oh, look at that. He's got some cool stuff on his backpack. He's got a cape. This guy doesn't look like he could really fight. I mean, he might be psychic, might have a cool spear, but I mean, I feel like he'll get pretty overwhelmed. Yeah, maybe if this is more his speed, but even then, I'll be like surprised if he could win. You know. Let's turn on the main lights again. Oh. There we go. You brightness. So tomorrow morning we'll have a morning stream. I will try to do a long stream as we will build all the Aeldari stuff. We'll build these Guardians, we'll build the Wraith Lord, and we'll try to build our Corsairs. I need to get an Autarch. When I do so, I'll look at other stuff I can get. Probably won't get much out. I probably won't get any more Eldar stuff. There is a lot of Eldar stuff I think is really cool. I've been looking at like getting a garden shed thing. I say garden shed. Been looking at getting a office for outside. Hobby workspace, but I was looking at the costs for it. It's like, oh, that's very expensive, so I might not. It's too expensive. It's too expensive. So I'm having a lot of second thoughts about it, especially because my parents keep talking about moving. I'm almost asking, it's like, when are we actually going to move? And it's like, they're like, yes, we're definitely going to move. I'm like, okay, so I don't really want to invest a lot of time and money into something where, like, I'm not necessarily going to get benefit from it. A she shed. No, it's going to be like a workshop. I don't know. I don't know. So, have a moment. The other thing I'm thinking about is asking my parents to do a loft conversion. Or at least enough of a loft conversion that I can safely set up some stuff in the loft without having to risk myself breathing in a bunch of fiberglass. Because we got fiberglass insulation up there. I keep thinking I can set up like some, display cabinets up there and whatever. It's like, no, there's a whole load of fiberglass. And it shouldn't take much. All you should really need is to have to put down some, all we'd have to put down is some effectively plywood over the fiberglass and then some sheets over that fiberglass, and it should make the area over there relatively safe. I mean, I could just put up some, like, display cases there. And then I can put up a couple of fans in there to make it a bit better ventilated. And so it's already relatively well ventilated, being an attic. Or loft. I don't know. I just want to... I'm just thinking about storage for Warhammer and stuff. Because the more I build, and the more boxes I buy, the less space I have. But yeah, tonight I'm thinking I'm going to watch some more Breaking Bad, and I'm going to focus on painting this guy's face. What is what I'm going to do. Because one of the things I'm finding is the more I look at this, the more I'm like, is this good or not? Is this good enough or not? I'm like, I need to paint for base. And while I'm doing that, I'll paint this guy's base up. And then once the base is painted, I'll do a few finishing touches on this, and I'll do a few finishing touches on this. I need to do what I did to this brain on this brain here. And honestly, I don't think I'll do any finishing touches on the skin itself because I can't be bothered. I'm just too lazy. Both of these, I think, could have been done better, but I did learn a lot from doing both of them. And that's what this was important about. That's why we spent so long doing both of them. Because I was just experimenting. And I enjoy experimenting. But also, it's... like, the reason we got the blues so good here is because I experimented with the blues on this dude. Like, the blues are terrible here, but look how well they've done here. Because I figured out how to do them badly here, did them a bit better down here, and then did them a lot better on the head, and then figured out how to do them here, did it badly here, did it better here. Figured out how to do the skin a lot better with this guy. Having Avalon Sunset helped a lot better though. Getting a new colour. Figuring out these tentacle stuff here helped, and I'll figure out how to do that on other models in the future. But yeah. So even though it was painted black originally, I think we actually did a really good job. It's not Golden Demon winner by any stretch of the imagination, but for me, it's not bad. It's not bad at all. Also, now this is dry, I still think I went overboard with the Madras purple, but it's not too bad. I guess I could touch it up a little bit by going back over with the Gene Stealer purple. Just to get rid of some of the extra sheen on the surface. And the higher points, but I'm not sure if I will. Actually, I probably will. And get a bit more grey back onto it. So it looks more like that stuff there. Oh, but yes. It was I had a fun stream. I had an okay stream today. Wait a minute. I've got to do my love heart. Love heart to you all. I had an okay stream today. I hope you guys had an okay stream. I hope you enjoyed it. Yeah. I keep forgetting I can jump and I can do this. I can stick my tongue out at you. Oh, I'm a silly Billy. I enjoyed it. Yeah, it was a yap stream. I was a bit slow and I don't think I had as much energy as I usually do for these streams. I've not had a lot of energy in a lot of streams recently. Well, that's what you get when you're on new meds and stuff. Yeah. I'm trying to get as much energy and stuff. I got some glucose tablets today. So I'm gonna try having some glucose tablets in the morning, like when I wake up, so to keep my blood sugars high. And then I'll have like one before the stream. It's just to like keep my energy levels a bit high, but also to like stop my blood sugar levels going a bit low. Which has been unfortunately happening a bit lately. So, well, you know, I'm just, it's going to, it might not work very well, but I'm hoping it's going to help. And what else am I doing? I got something else recently. What else did I get? I don't know. There's other stuff. But anyway, yeah, tomorrow, another Handcam stream. We're going to be building stuff. And hopefully tomorrow, I'll be building a Handcam. I'll be building a potato. A potato? What am I on about? I'll try and build a Land Raider Redeemer if we have time as well. Because I got another Land Raider Redeemer. Yeah. Oh, by the way, I just realised something. You can tell this is a model from 2006 by the sprue. Look how much empty space is on this sprue. Look at the empty space. It's in year 2006. It's just right there. Look how much, compare this to the much more recent. Like, when were these on? 2022. 2022. Only 3 years old this one is. Like, look how little empty space is on this sprue compared to this one. This is 19 years old. It's ancient. Snap. Hungry for potato. Oh yeah, potato. Tasty, tasty potato. I wonder how big... Oh, the Wraithlord looks like it'll be pretty big, actually. Because I think this is the same base size as... Ooh, yeah. As for Hive Tyrant. I think it might be a little bit taller. A bit thinner, but a bit taller. I really like this base, though. Look at that base. That's a very nice looking base. I mean, it does look like it'll be a bit of a pain to glue into unique poses because of the weird lumps on it. But yeah, you don't really see many unique bases in 40k that aren't like this base where it's grey, part of a sprue. Part of a sprue, part of a crew, part of a sprue, part of a crew. Yeah, because this is one where you have to cut it off a sprue because it's part of the model sprue. This one is like printed through the same way that these... Looks like it's printed the same way that these things are printed. These normal bases are printed. So... Or popped off or whatever. Doesn't have the same texture, mind you, so maybe not. But yeah, very cool base. I like it. Looking forward to having a Wraithlord. It's one of the... Eldar were one of those one of those armies that I kind of wanted them, but I could never justify the price of the models because they were very expensive models back then. Especially just how many of them were metal. And they did not want metal. I did not want metal models. Oh, goodness. Oh. But yes. Thank you for coming to the stream. Don't forget to like the stream if you haven't already. Who's streaming right now? I'll just have a quick look. And see if we want to raid into anybody. Actually, I can't be bothered because my stomach's been a bit upset at me. But thank you for coming today. Hope you have a good rest of your day. Remember to take care of yourselves. And be kind to others and vice versa. We definitely need to be kind to each other. And definitely take care of yourselves. Work hard. Play harder. It's important. And remember to eat good foods, sleep well, and dream of cupcakes, but never eat cupcakes because cakes are friendly friends. Cola friends and not food. Friends. Pat, pat, pat. Not food.
Eat cake.
No! No! Bye-bye, everybody. Love you all. Love you all. Wee! Ah! Oh, you silly bullies.